Live with a bit of a twist. Today's game is part of the Poker Unicorn series where we watch investors and entrepreneurs square off across the poker table. Should be some big action. Hopefully gets to hear some pretty interesting conversation in Austin, Texas. I'm Alex Rosenberg, finance reporter and a poker player, and I'm joined by engineer, author, and tech philosopher and poker player, Kent Beck. How are you, Kent?
I'm doing excellent, Alex. Good to see you today.
Yeah, great to see you. So we'll get to listen in a little bit to the conversation. We have a lot of interesting players here, a lot of investors, entrepreneurs, and sounds like they're getting into some of their business talk already. So we'll introduce the players around as we get into it. Looks like we're playing some 5-10 here.
So please forgive us as we figure out the all the audio stuff. I promise you, the action will be hot and heavy here pretty quick.
Speaking of which, Quinn's calling. Quinn played in our last Poker Unicorn show and very interesting player. Likes to have some fun with the table here.
Interesting style, let's call it that. Fearless, I think, is the nice way to say that.
Yeah. And fearlessly calls that raise there from Chris Sparks.
Sparks playing the mystery hand.
Sweat along with Sparks here. All right, let's see. All right. Quinn's got a few backdoors. Not afraid to bet him.
I'm not sure that's exactly the thought process, but yeah. All right, what's he going to do here, Alex?
I don't know. Not a great card for Alex here.
Yeah. Quinn's still telling the story with his 7% equity.
And there you go. It worked. Quinn wins the first hand here. Quinn works in renewable energy infrastructure and in crypto as the president of Node Providers, where he provides custom technological solutions for crypto projects, hosts Bitcoin mining, and he's a federated member of the Shift network. What do you think about that, Kent?
Well, it kind of all balances out. You consume the energy with the crypto and you put it back into the grid with the power plant.
So basically, 7 deuce suited, all in.
And it's 7 deuce suited, offsuited, it doesn't matter.
Exactly. Yes. 7 deuce.
I think that's my favorite rule in poker.
Fold.
Yes, sir.
Fold. Fold.
Any prop bets that people are excited about these days?
Prop bets.
Raise. 40.
Bets of the proposition nature.
I'll put $10 a jack comes up in the.
How about you, Zach? Anything?
Get that started, right?
Well, of course. Come on. My most recent one that I'm pumped about is a good buddy of mine, Jesse Fastenberg, did some epic 17-minute cold plunge on his travels in South Africa recently. Wow. And he knows that I like to plunge. We both fans of the Russian bathhouse experience, and he's like, let's do a gentleman's wager. Whoever lasts longer in a cold plunge gets 1 BSV from the other person. So that next time we're both in the same place, whether it's at my freezer or some bathhouse in New York, we'll make that happen.
And when he says my
Raise.
When I say
my freezer.
yeah.
For the stream.
So I turn to use.
It's actually a freezer.
I turn to use chest freezer into. You got it, Quinn. Into a nice cold plunge at home.
No?
Which this guy owns. He's my landlord right here.
And it works nicely for you.
Yeah, I
It's a
can't lose
sick
too
setup.
much, man, or might be tough to make rent next month. So
Yeah.
don't.
How big is this
Be
freezer?
easy
You're
on
gonna
me.
make rent back right now. Like a garage freezer. It's just a low.
That's it.
He's
He's
like,
like,
then you put like a deer in if
he
you.
can go, he's got like
Drive
frozen
around like
hamburgers.
Yeah, he has one
Okay.
side that's for food and the other side
Yeah.
you get in.
The other side for his naked body. I got it. Sounds
For me, I'm not gonna do anything crazy.
straddle or- Yeah.
I'd love to get to more into Wim Hof stuff, but really just do it every day and just, you know,
Not strip poker. If you're just
raise
Raise,
uh,
100.
and just, yeah, do my best to,
Fold.
No items uploaded.
thank you.
Please.
mask comes off.
Do my best to do it every day and last as long as I can. But I'm good.
Thank you.
Do you work up gradually? Do you kind of set a timer?
I've been plunging a lot now, so I kind of just get all in super quick.
What do you have a sense of what your like max time is currently?
Not really, because I'm typically not like pushing it crazy super hard, but
What's like
it's
a typical morning?
What about this?
3 to 5 minutes is like pretty easy, I would say, at like 44 degrees.
This is just a personal, especially like Russian Turkish fast, right? So knowing your venue.
Yeah.
I have the clock there. So I find the psychological value of knowing how long I'm going to stay in by the clock
Yeah.
to be really important. So if you know you can stay in for 10,
50.
right, committing to stay in for 10 by the clock. And that way it removes a lot of this like recursive thought process.
Yeah.
Call. 10 is up. Check.
Watch two king nines. Prepare
Check.
to battle it out.
Oh, they're playing my Silk Sonic song.
Playing what?
Leave the door open. Classic.
Speaking of BSV prop bets, I locked up the 2.5 BSV
Yeah.
Celsius, so now I'm earning returns.
On your hedge, yeah.
When's my BitClout market share gonna go up? And is it ever gonna be liquid?
So
Wait, it says they can't hear right now.
They can't even hear this.
Just let's wait a second before we
glad you asked. Where there's no audio?
let's.
Like the only reason I came to this game was to ask you about BitClout.
There are cheaper ways to do that.
Are you able to hear us?
Checked all the way down.
Oh, stream hasn't even started. Okay. Cool. So is it like recording and going to be delayed on stream? Like, are they recording this and it's going to go on stream right now? Okay, cool. Can I give you my number? Or if you want to put yours in, just want to save some of our conversations to make sure that they're heard. Thanks, man. Okay, I'll text you right now.
We split Quinn's small blind. Is that what happened?
Check. We're going to check showdown. And that's a chop.
Yeah.
Greg, if I'm gonna add
That's a win
more,
for
do
me,
I
not-
need to
Yeah.
put another 100 in?
T3 is adding 100 to
We
the stack.
were at King 9. Chop. So we split your $5.
Yeah, if you add onto your stack, just let them know because they're updating the total.
Yep.
I think that's the first.
Can I get chips from you, Chris, if I want to? Oh, I see. Okay, cool. You're the bank right now.
It can be, yeah. You can do cash at the
Okay.
bank as well.
Not like this.
I just had some extra.
I got you. Oh, okay.
Yeah, Zach, I'm pumped for a Vegas trip.
I know it's gonna be great. I just want to get confirmation that folks can
Audio as well.
hear us before we're
Good stuff.
going to the good stuff.
Zach talking about stuff.
That's exactly what I'm doing.
35 is best.
35.
Call.
Oh, you're right. Writing down conversation topics.
Which one's that?
Hey, people might be able to hear this and know about my idiosyncratic ways. Chill the fuck out.
Yeah, not used to this one.
Yeah, make sure you scan your cards.
Can't believe they don't have direct flights from Cleveland to Austin.
4 players.
What's happening? You know,
Yeah.
Check.
Check.
hub,
Not gonna mind this.
Not
law,
really much of a hub anymore.
global commerce. It used to be a huge United hub.
It used to be.
Yeah,
Bet.
it was like one of the top ones in the country.
Do 70.
Huge international terminal.
Fold.
It was already done by the time I went to school there.
Call. Correct. First action is check.
Sorry.
Okay, it went. Check, bet, fold, Call. 60. Okay. Yeah. Seat nine folded, everybody else call. So it's 1, 3, 4, in the hand for 60.
Nathan, where you staying these days?
We're gonna replace it here.
I'm staying at my friend's place on South First.
Check.
Cool.
So
We're in the action.
right in the action, it's a good spot. Get a little cosmic coffee in the morning.
Nice.
Crank there. That place is like magical for your productivity.
Bet.
That's a great
135.
spot. I've never been there before.
Oh, wow.
I get so much done at that place. It's just, I don't know what it is. The waterfalls, I don't know, the babies running around, the dogs, I don't know.
Have you tried the barbecue spot?
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
I think it's the best, like the best.
It melts in your mouth. What's it called? Le Petit?
Leroy and Lewis.
Yes, yes.
It's the best I've ever had.
Race, 300. Full.
I'm gonna walk up to that food truck one day with my checkbook and just say, listen, I want
How
to
much
own
could I-
5%.
how much could I buy?
I just want 5%.
I
Tell
would-
me
I would-
5%.
You've already done that. You've already
I
done
have
it.
done this. There's a playbook.
Yeah, I'm in for 5%.
Yeah, right? How much do you think that place does in an average day? Let's say a Saturday actually, so a busy day.
Oh, that's a great question. Let's say average check size, $50. Maybe serving, say, 50 to 100 orders.
Wait, average is just average is
Is Tim coming with a new deck?
50 per order.
Like average cart value.
Check size. Yeah, like for like a family.
It's really good. I think they serve more than 100 people on a Saturday.
No, not 100 people, 100 orders.
Oh, okay.
So I'm thinking like 5K.
Oh, I think they do more than that on a Saturday.
On Saturday, maybe. Yeah.
I bet you they serve 400 people on a Saturday.
I haven't been on a Saturday. I was a little nervous. I like going during the week.
Yeah.
But I mean, they need to expand.
Raise, 50. Full.
It's always the big blind.
That can be our poker sub game. It's called How Much Does This Business Make on a Saturday?
Right.
And
Yeah.
next up, dry cleaners. All right.
Actually, that's a really good.
Quarter
You think they're making
We don't have any
20K
way.
today?
on a Saturday. Yeah, I think on a Saturday they do 20K.
But in your,
I mean, that's-
Have you seen that line? They always
That pays back their truck in a day.
Figure out.
they always have a huge line.
What does this person think of this?
That's the lot and things version. Yeah.
What place is this?
Cosmic Coffee.
Oh.
You know where that is? Have you been? Oh well, yeah, yeah. Well, you have to. You start spending more time there. We'll have to take you with.
Yeah, yeah. I'll
It's
come
really
back.
great. Big outdoor venue, a lot of food trucks.
Oh,
I
okay.
was told last
It
time.
wasn't reading the decent slots, so we replaced the deck.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
add
yeah.
5.
Cool.
Seat 3 is
Yeah, I'll save that that special stuff for after the stream.
Right.
What? So pink chips are 250,
500.
500 each. Okay.
the actual seat 3. He's the button.
Well, hopefully.
Which dot are you?
Abby is watching us live.
Oh, the stream started.
Oh, the stream has started. Yes, the stream has started.
Great.
I mean, they've been playing.
So it's the.
Oh, I can ask her if she can hear.
Mike's
Yeah,
working.
just text us. They can hear.
Oh, Zach's got it.
I hope
Yeah.
my mom's not watching. She doesn't know I play poker.
It's good timing.
You're on it.
That is good timing with the red
A few things
red
are like
aces.
$20 games like here
And
there.
he's just chatting like nothing's going on.
Is it?
The
For him.
sample ring.
She doesn't approve?
Big open, but we haven't seen them open yet.
I go,
They're-
Mom.
Black,
As far as I know,
Happy
so.
Mother's
I'm
Day.
like, this
Yeah.
is so. I know.
That's the first-
I called her,
crazy.
I wished her happy Mother's
8-7
Day.
suited.
I'm
reasonable
going-
call, of
Perfect
course.
hand to crack aces
Awesome.
with.
Play some board games with
Yeah,
friends.
absolutely.
My mom's so desensitized.
partially
I just
true.
I can't shock her at this point.
So she's gonna be like, look, I was on poker YouTube all day.
Yeah, it's
and
not
I
gonna do
found
it.
you."
Yeah, I think it's going to be a better
She'll
fold.
see this.
Alex doing a little scratch in here and
Unless one of you tweeters or
a little scratch, a little fold, and Zach wins the.
You don't know if your mom's on Twitter?
She's not on Twitter.
That's,
Wins
that's
the
a,
minimum with aces.
That's a
Yeah.
flop where you don't necessarily want to see a big raise even with aces.
My mom's
the
a
king,
big
the king
Facebook
10
power user.
of,
That's
Facebook
look awfully
power.
scary when you
Where's
get rid of
everyone's
aces.
for the Mother's Day theme? Where's everyone's mom spend most of their time online? Mine's Facebook.
Super quiet.
Facebook.
Really?
Yeah.
She's gone.
Okay, gone.
Can't really say, but she was never a Facebook person.
Okay.
Never. She didn't even really like people coming in her house with cell phones.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, your mom would not like me.
She had a couple people, some family
Said one day, I think she
she
said,
said some family came in.
leave your cell phone in this little basket.
I don't know about you, Alex. I'm just praying they're really careful how they talk about moms.
I kind of like that. That's like a nice way to.
It's kind of cool. I mean, I think it's probably good if you have a
Yeah.
warning in case
Mine
you're
was a big
counting on being able to
Facebook,
Yeah,
talk.
true.
Facebook person, Facebook proponent.
Zach does his Shabbat dinners every Friday like that.
Yeah.
Phone bowl.
Yeah, I think
Who's got what now?
Yeah, I try to do the. I
When-
mean,
with the big
I definitely
open
also try to do
cards
the phone
and
ball and non-Shabbat too
folds, huh?
when it makes sense, but mandatory. You're not. I'm not trying to be text my house on Shabbat, you know.
Sparks is gonna open.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Again with the mystery hand.
interesting, Nathan chooses to fold there with the ace deuce
Variable
of
raise size,
diamonds.
Chris. What's
He would have had a nice hand against Sparks with the
standard?
king
I saw
seven
you
of
do 50
diamonds.
before
Could have
as
gotten
well.
interesting there.
With the limp.
Got it.
Yeah.
Zach flops a pair, and Sparks has a backdoor straight draw kind of.
Important to change it up.
Yeah.
Very important.
Interesting here. So we see Zach lead
His blog
8,
posts,
9, 8,
like, it was
4,
a
probably a
three-step, pick the
flop
right
that
table.
benefits the callers,
man,
the big
I
blind
felt-
callers
I felt
range,
that
I would
top. I
guess.
read that. Yeah. Oh, like,
Well, the
well,
king checks through.
I forget.
So
All I
he
knew is I
realized
rated
this was
under
a
a
good play. Like he's like less than one.
He's following his own advice.
Sparks
Oh, I'm
gotta
sorry.
know that he's good here.
So apparently the flop went check check, and Zach bet the
Almonds and
turn.
water
Chris
before the game, so I
called
bought
with
all
the
the almonds from HEB and
pair
water.
of kings, and
They'll see if it'll make me a better poker.
I didn't
now
even
Zach
read
checks,
that.
and
Water.
Sparks bets the top pair
Like
again.
a
I just
genius.
bought like a crap
And
of
Zach-
almonds. This will make me a better poker.
I didn't even read it and I got
I don't know. A little bit of a decision, maybe. Most people would
Yeah.
fold.
It was for
Well, it's a bluff
because
catch.
it has nothing to do with- 'cause it has nothing to
Do you
do with
think?
cards.
Do you think Sparks is doing this with nothing?
It's just like
Almonds, water.
yeah, it's like a
I was going to say a Jack 10, but it was Jack 10. It's not a nothing.
Oh wow,
Yeah. Calls.
got his
The
customer.
bad news.
playing at this table means he's telling us he believes we're suckers.
Right.
That's what the mere fact that he's here.
I'm here for the company.
This is 30% of his strategy.
Oh,
less than one
oh,
on his,
somebody says I'm here for the company. You run away.
The argument is table selection is about 33% of the gains you're going to make in poker.
But he's saying he's table selected because we
That's
seem
it?
like really nice people.
I'm here for the.
He seems like he said this seems like a really nice crew. That's why he selected the table.
Most of the time, you're not picking for company.
He should be in Dallas.
Seems like they're sniffing off the I like the company bluff here.
Your article
Yeah.
is like-
Hopefully that'll change before the afternoon is over.
75.
It's very much connected to life.
Yeah.
That we're making bets all the time.
All right, Alex.
Yeah.
I need
So maybe we had a straddle here. Is that what happened? And then Alex is opening.
75 is the total.
Yeah, it's got to be.
Speaking of personal bets, I decided, okay, big clout, and like Andreessen put money in, like I'll put in 15 grand. Virgil have been like, what the hell? I'll buy my own token, and then I went and bought all my enemies' tokens, so I control their market share.
Sure.
I think I might have bought Nathan Michael.
Well, that
I'm a
would
little
be-
lost here,
that
Kent.
would be a great
Have you ever bought your enemy's tokens before?
We got 5 minutes with the live stream.
This is,
No, no, we're good. We're good. It's, yeah.
this is above my pay grade,
yeah,
Alex.
yeah.
I need to.
Yeah, let's front run all the.
I mean,
big stuff.
crypto is the Wild
That
West.
was my first thought. Is if you have an enemy, you
Is,
want to buy all of their coins.
As one commentator I read said, crypto is recapitulating the entire history of finance.
I have to go look at who I owe.
Right.
Go
Yes.
to
Seemed
my
to lot
profile.
of quote about that.
Yes. And they're
Second profile that you buy.
Oh, we want unregulated financial instruments. Oh, there's reasons to have regulation because there's a bunch of crooks out there. Hmm.
well. It's funny you say that because one of our players today, actually Nathan, who we saw, hasn't been too active yet, but he interviewed the founder of a ICO Shopping, and the recording he made on his podcast was apparently used in court to prove a $42 million ICO fraud. So there you go.
And so,
I don't want to bury the lead though. So is it a scam?
Big Cloud.
Yeah.
I mean, I want to call it a scam on live.
Just between you and I.
On the live stream.
Between you and me and the
thousands of people watching this.
Seems like we're
what do you think?
trying to skirt a little bit of slander law here as we.
I just like the concept.
We appreciate that. Neither of us need a lawsuit.
My developers say it's open source, so they have like more. They're open sourcing more and more of it over time. I guess,
All right, Zach's gonna open the king queen.
but they haven't yet.
I haven't seen anything. I mean, they changed.
Interesting here. Sparks
All
probably
right.
getting a 3-bet.
140.
So
Very
what is
quickly.
what does Zach do in response?
Big Cloud. And like the next day, their API changed.
kind of got. Ooh.
Their front of the website changed.
Did Alex just call or did he put in the 4-bet? Yeah, he just called, leaving Zach with a decision. Probably going to call here up against.
Sox 25.
Whoa!
I thought Zach was going to 4-bet. Yep.
So anyway, we got a
So
spot.
how much
And-
money are we going to see go in on this?
I think Sparks is checking out Alex's stack pretty hungrily here.
Yeah, you got
Minus the.
a couple of stacks that are just a little more than 100 big blinds. So we could see, well, kings versus queens.
Problem is if Sparks jams and Alex calls, is he in good shape or not?
No, Zach has to. All right, there's the 5.
Pokemon raise.
640.
Plus that dude.
Plus the Pokemon.
So that's a jam, and then Alex is a pretty easy call. I might have Hollywooded a little bit if I was Alex, try to entice
Yes.
Zach into the pot, don't you think?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Here we go.
Yeah, I think
I got one.
Zach was probably folding anyway, but if Alex called more slowly, it might have been Zach might have thought about it a little bit harder.
10
Zach would have
coming.
flopped a straight draw, by the way,
Nice
but
hand. Nice hand.
kings are going to hold up.
Fold flat.
Did I size too big?
Alex Hardy, by the way, startup founder, startup investor. He's on Twitter at Can'tHardyWait. Does a lot of angel investing. He was an early investor in something called StatMuse, which is a sports and finance search engine.
Too short.
I don't know what the hell this half this shit means. Variable.
Oh, I'm just talking about the rapper.
Oh.
One of my favorite rappers, Too Short.
Oh, I thought you were making fun of his height.
No, Too Short. Short dog. That's all
I've
I.
never heard of a rapper.
Throw a spot.
Too
too.
short?
I mean, that's.
Sort of too short.
Dude,
Two monster hands.
pull that Too Short on Spotify. Old school.
Can I just fucking fold sometime?
Who has not heard of Too Short?
Light $500 on
I mean,
fire?
he's a Bay Area
old
product.
school rapper.
But
I thought he was I thought he was a Queens-based
The
rapper.
good part
Old school rapper.
was putting the
Yeah, he's a
500
Cleveland
in.
guy.
It felt a lot worse than
but
I don't know.
less, man. I did it for 400. I did it for 400.
Let's see.
I mean,
Oh, he's from the West Coast. My mistake.
I mean,
Sorry.
I have a Too Short story, but there's too much good stuff going on.
Fucking tree. Yeah.
And we gave all the neighbors.
they don't know the geniuses. They know all the.
So we're playing 5-10 here at TCH Live in Austin, Texas. A lot of Austonians in the game. Almost everyone here from Austin, or living in Austin, I should say. Most people came from elsewhere recently, attracted by the tech scene.
I think there's a couple things we could do to that place to like make it do like out like
We got a runaway chip as
better outdoor area.
Sparks takes a Quinn hand for a raise here.
Table or something.
Yeah.
A Quinn hand. Perfect.
Any queen rag is the Quinn now.
It
As
does.
Alex calls, hoping to see a three. He doesn't, but it's still a pretty good flop for threes.
Yeah.
has
Unfortunately,
the
Sparks
soul.
has nailed this flop. Well,
Dave has the soul.
Yeah.
soul
the,
spade.
the problem with putting it
It's
on
a
the wall there. is,
extremely
like,
vulnerable
the reason
pair
it is because then I can like be
face of
naked in it and
monotone
scare
flop.
all the people walking on the street. You know.
Can't see inside. It fogs up.
I know, but I'll be
Dave does have a
like if
backdoor
it's facing the
straight flush
street.
draw.
It's just like not as
yeah.
good of a vibe.
Well, then put it
If we put it in the corner,
Is that a
facing
raise?
This
yeah,
game is worth a raise,
for your hedge or whatever.
apparently.
I'd be very happy if
I mean, there's all kinds of we could do there. The thing that I'm trying to think of is like, can we just get like a couple of these in Austin and just create like a network and like list them?
Thanks.
Where are you
I'm
buying?
I'm going south, probably South Congress area.
Dude,
and doing the
perfect.
same thing. I'm getting
Talking a little Austin real estate now.
Yeah.
and I've got some friends
Listening
moving
for a
to
little
town
bit.
that are going to take up the other spots.
nice.
I just bought in South Congress, like 5 minutes from South Congress.
Very
Yeah.
hard time buying.
Yeah.
I'm in the San Francisco Bay Area. Prices here are absolutely nuts. How's the real estate going in where you are?
Supply.
Yeah, supply is really
In the New
hard.
York area, I hear,
Offers,
at least in the suburbs, if a house is listed, it goes
people are coming in
immediately. They can't find enough
I've heard some
inventory.
insane stories about this market.
Apartment pricing in New York is coming back slowly, still below where it was 2 years ago, but definitely coming back. Not the same kind of steals you would find.
I mean, this is just for rentals, so not as crazy, but I was gonna do a showing As I was showing yesterday, the place has been on the market on the rental market for 12 hours. And they already have 12 applications in hand.
12 hours.
And I'm like, well, okay, I'd like to go to the
How many?
Where you make one application per hour there in Austin.
It was it's like 3-bedroom, 1 bath, and 2 of the bedrooms are really weird. But the clincher is it has a pool and a hot tub.
Okay.
Oh.
So I think that's why it's super interesting.
Yeah, but does it have an ice
And
plunge?
then we can have like a bunch of weird space.
It's funny that a hot tub, 'cause you can just.
They were asking for $4,500 a month.
Wow.
But I think it might go up to like 60 or 65 at this point.
Does it have a cold plunge that you can put hamburger meat in to keep it good for like Zach's?
Well, listen, you got the joke first. That's what matters. It's not who tells it best, Ken. It's who tells it first.
Absolutely. Hey, wait a minute. All right.
Oh.
Now here's where this is a Quinn hand.
This is a double Quinn hand. It's not just one Queen, but two.
Sublet the house or sublet
Double
the
Queens for
Nobody's
double
going to
Quins.
suspect that he actually has cards.
Checkbox on Airbnb.
That's funny.
They need that. So hotels.com has a sauna checkbox.
75.
Great feature. That's why I'm a loyal hotels.com customer.
I'm also.
Excellent timing, Dave.
Also Hotel Tonight.
Hotel Tonight.
Oh no.
See,
not
Hotel
hotels.com.
Tonight doesn't have the sauna filter. If anyone from Hotel Tonight, Airbnb is looking at this, strong product decision could be made.
Pushing the sauna filter here as Quinn is going to call.
Yeah, like
Call?
pre-COVID.
Not sure. Either a
Just
very small
small
raise or a
three-bet.
call.
I love hotels.
Oh, look, yeah, it was a call.
For business travel, it was amazing.
Hotel
So
Tonight.
good.
That's not an ideal flop for queens, but
I think, right?
against Dave's actual hand,
One
he's
of the
doing
best
fine.
mobile apps I've
Not
ever
anymore.
Oh,
tonight. It's unbelievable.
oh, that's why you bet to protect, Quinn.
And he's going to choose this moment to bet.
So there's not.
I got nowhere near level 30. I think I was like level 7.
You might be like literally one of their most powerful users.
I want to know. I would love to know.
Yeah, I didn't even know it had double digits.
My process is when I land on the tarmac in a new city, I just open Hotel Tonight and book a place for that night. Let me see what level I am.
The hotel.
Yeah, it's a hotel booking.
It's like
app.
kayak or hotels.com.
Call and he'll
Really
call one
nice
more
app.
time.
Yeah.
Why is booking hotels and cars and stuff so?
Oh,
Probably because you're not using Easy.
yeah, but
Dirty. As Quinn
one
bets
line or two
again.
is straight.
The God you asked.
Quinn's
just
laughing, not about the story,
The top concierge service for the best business and
but
first class
about the
deals in
set
world.
that he just rivered.
Get those deals through arbitrage
As-
and credit card miles and points.
Okay.
And as a service for clients
Against
that want it,
Quinn,
we'll take care of booking hotels.
And it's a
that-
pretty nice bet size from Quinn, I think. Maybe he could have gone a little bigger even, but he's probably targeting a king here. Probably going to work against Dave's king.
Yeah, no, I think that's the right size.
Yeah.
You can get called by a lot of
Well
stuff.
played, Quinn.
You go much bigger, and people start seeing tens.
Quinn told us that he's new to poker, but he's having a blast playing, and he sure is.
Yeah.
He sure is.
Absolutely.
The joie de Quinn
But against,
is
like, only 15% off.
emanating off
Only
of him.
500 bucks.
Nice hand.
$20 straddle. Straddle's on.
I do enjoy introducing people to poker, especially
You got
wealthier
max
people.
value, so I'd say well done, sir.
Yeah.
You want to make sure that they have a good experience
That probably would have been.
and that they don't walk away with any money.
I think that was the right amount. Seems like it.
Live 20.
Well, unless you're very close friends with them, in which case you want to stack the deck so they win rather than so they lose. Looks like we have a straddle on. Alex considers
Seat
what to do with the
500.
7 deuce. He's going to fold it. Looks like he might have tried to have some
straddle,
fun
right?
there.
Live 20. $20 straddle. Raise 60.
Wait, apparently Abby got a shot.
Fold.
And Zach with the suited ace king is probably going to
225.
make it a little bigger here. Quinn's thinking, what do I do with these fives?
Fold.
I'm going to fold
That was
them.
the commentator's
Nice
favorite
fold,
line
Quinn.
last stream. Quinn picks
Yeah.
up his cards. Quinn picks up. Quinn has picked up his cards. And he slams them down.
They're picking up on the way Quinn looks at his cards there.
They really gave me a lot.
Something's happening. It's a fiesta.
I can't wait to get to the part of the stream where I played the hand against you, Zach. I haven't gotten there yet.
Oh, it was pretty epic.
What's the like?
Sorry,
quick,
no
what's the
offense.
quick
I
one?
had pocket aces.
It was entertaining.
Who won?
Good
Start with the
entertainment.
top. Who won?
I won.
Okay.
It was an all-in. It was probably a 3.5, $4 grand pot.
Yeah.
And
I had Quinn raised like just stupid big with pocket aces after he's just playing all these fucking hands. I get ace jack, I raise him even more, and then he calls, and then ace on the flop. So
Raise, 50,
yeah.
All right, Nathan.
raise.
Nathan
With the
getting
double
involved here.
Quinn.
The way Quinn is picking up
And
the cards and not.
Zach thinks he's got a good hand.
I don't try to get a read on Quinn. I just try to hit a good hand and pray that he's, you know,
Disciplined
or
fold
something.
from Sparks.
Call, four heads up.
good call.
Oh, just call.
Yeah,
Because now I get to.
that's
Oof.
pretty nice flop there.
Yeah,
Although,
but we want to see a 10. Maximum pain.
That would be a good hand.
I will say
Like
that
poker unicorns is about maximum pain.
a low to mediocre level player.
Interesting. So Nathan definitely has a decision
It's
here.
very frustrating. Like, when I run into
Most
a
players
Quinn
would probably
who
raise,
knows
but
I would never say Quinn doesn't know what he's doing.
Well, there's not that much back. I mean,
they'll just
the
raise and you
back
don't
to
actually
pots
know what
too.
you have, 'cause they probably
So you're pretty certain of getting the money in by the river at this point.
tell you.
Supposed to look at the other person when you do this, or at the cards?
Well, you gotta get the mask down for a full read.
he's going for the battle of reads here. Nathan looking pretty comfortable. Zach's chatting him up a little bit.
Yeah, look at the hands. The ha ha ha. Oh, yawn and stretch. Is that a fake one? Is it real?
Kevin's.
Kevin's apartment. And
I don't think Zach was calling anyway, but
Jan
that was a pretty comfortable stretch, I think.
said
Yeah.
my cards were, there's like a glass wall behind
Yeah.
me. And he freaked
My
out.
approach
He
is
said
to be
he thought he could-
absolutely still at the table.
Damn it. And it was
I don't talk.
potential
I
flush.
don't really move. I'm paying attention to my breathing. Do you try to influence people? Do you indulge in speech
Yeah.
play?
So then I bluffed having.
If it's a close decision,
And he thought that he had
especially
seen
on the
it in
river,
the
then
card?
I'll experiment a little bit.
Oh yeah, that was an epic.
I'll talk to
He
people.
told us, he told the table
Just to gauge
he saw my
comfort.
hand, and I was like, ah, damn it. I throw my cards down. I'm like,
I don't try to do some, Lewis Carroll, if I have a hand and you don't have a hand, then, give me a number
Total
between
awe.
1 and 10 kind of.
he pulled it out.
And then I'm just like,
That's
Quinn, show the
amazing.
fucking bluff.
Call, four heads up.
It's unbelievable.
It's funny, when a player like Quinn is at the table, a player who's really there trying to have fun, not
Yeah, you have him questioning his own.
and knowing they're there to have fun, it kind of lightens up the whole game. Everyone's just kind
I was
of
like, oh, so you know I have a flush.
chatting with him. No one's trying to
Well, I guess.
make him think that he's Phil Ivey, but just having a good time,
Call,
talking about the hands. No one with much of anything here. Zach bets after opening.
I still lost it.
Alex keeps telling the story.
Yeah, so what are your thoughts on BitCloud, Nathan? What do you think it's going to do?
Look, my thinking is, if it takes off, the
Just
upside
give
is
you
like
being in
unlimited.
position.
But if it goes nothing, I lose 15K.
It's a big
I'm
bet.
happy with that bet.
Well, how early did you get in?
Probably like
have
right when the raise was announced. For entries in.
So you're up a lot on paper, right?
On paper.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But that gas money I don't expect to ever see again.
Well, going market now is like $100 to $110 a BitCloud. So,
And what's the
40%
website
off?
listing? Okay, got it.
40% off of the website list.
A little bit of a BitCloud chat. I'm not an expert on BitCloud myself.
Yeah, there is a way to monetize it.
Nor am I.
So when you're doing, explain to me what you're doing. So let's say I'm watching right now, like I'm on the stream or something, and I've got 10 grand in
Might be
BitCloud,
interesting.
and
We
I
could
wanna
listen
get
in a little bit
How
here.
are you going to help me?
So you can, basically we're gathering liquidity to do a swap where it's a decentralized swap. You can put in BitCloud and put in Ethereum and pull out on either side. So if you're familiar with the way a liquidity pool, decentralized liquidity pool works,
Nathan opens. Suited ace jack.
it's
It's a pretty hand.
the difference from the order book method.
For the
of
moment.
like a live exchange where
Quinn's not going anywhere with the superior Quinn.
Yeah. Two pretty different playing styles here, Nathan and Quinn.
Yeah.
We're opening up.
We'll see how they.
What's the discount though? So like if I want to sell, like that you're seeing.
Discount currently that I see is 35, 40, 45.
Another good flop for Quinn.
Yeah.
And it's a pretty
Quinn,
healthy part of it.
Quinn tends to do pretty well with these run-ups, I gotta
There's some big
say.
guys that are looking to buy
Yeah.
large.
We saw the last stream too.
People are rumoring it's going to list. I can't see
It's interesting when two players are having a conversation.
Yeah, where
and
which do they have
a
an
hand
exchange?
erupts in the middle of the conversation. They continue talking to each other. That's always an interesting dynamic. to me.
Chamath was pumping it on a podcast.
Yeah, can you hold
anything on a podcast?
you hold your
shots
tone,
fired.
hold the rhythm of the
If
conversation,
you're watching this.
Him and
even
his
when
crew,
you
they'll
get
pump anything.
Exactly.
you start getting
knock.
emotionally involved
You
in the
know,
hand.
So much of markets are like doing the first thing first and taking advantage and moving out of it. You know, Spax, he was there.
Yeah.
He was on CNBC. You know, the day the market's going crazy. I mean, you know.
Big one, please.
Talking about Chamath Palihapitiya here.
Cool.
No.
No, not me.
He and
Little bit
I
of respect, little
overlapped
bit-
just briefly at Facebook.
Man, I haven't eaten a thing today and did a pretty
He's a
intense
very
bike ride with,
particular style, personal
Mr. Chris
style.
before. We'll see how
Interesting.
this.
Let me put it that
Have
way.
you played
This-
poker
this-
with him? He's a big poker player.
We're-
for
I
doing
have
like a
not.
dinner after.
He's rolled at a different level than I am,
Okay.
I have bars.
so I'm okay with that.
You guys are hungry.
I have like unlimited almonds if you would.
Well,
HEB's finest.
Actually, I have cheeseburgers for anyone.
Almonds for me.
I don't feel like doing like a
Just
big
keep coming for
delivery.
Quinn
Chris,
here.
Chris, I'll take a bar. Take a bar.
Yeah,
I would love a bar.
Yeah, thanks, man.
And I'd like some almonds, not to eat, but to be a
Just
better
to make
player.
you.
I'll take some.
Yeah, so Quinn and Zach V pipping at 40%, while Nathan's at 15%. We'll see. See how that changes a lot. Though. Nathan is playing. Obviously, haven't seen many hands, but Nathan is playing pretty tight. We saw that fold with the ace deuce of diamonds.
Awesome.
A little bit surprising there. I
Thanks,
think he was
Chris.
on the button with one
Yeah.
raise. Not crazy by any means,
Your local
but
Delta play.
maybe a little bit on the tighter side.
Well, because I was thinking you don't want to just buy a whole bag because then how do you eat it? You want to touch
It's
it.
bag
I
is
thought you had-
unwieldy.
yeah,
It's a good point. A
The
bag is
You
unwieldy.
can just peel it, pour it in your mouth.
We've reached
thinking
the
like the Costco
bar level.
Yeah,
of the,
pound bag.
That won't work.
All right, is Quinn gonna do it? A little skinny, suited, sure.
I think that's a call. So, if you're following home, seems like he's maybe raising with the better hands, raising big with a really good hand.
I have that written on my high school.
Calling with the 3D suited to the world as Nathan has the better diamonds and is going to just call. And Zach is just going to call too. So, four
Zach.
ways to the flop here. Let's see what we get.
Freezer is muted.
Looking for some diamonds. And so,
No diamonds.
interesting. Two people have top pair.
35. Call.
Nathan checks.
Zach is going to open up the action. Quinn is going to call with his bottom pair. Bottom pair, bottom kicker, and looks like everyone is going to stay involved. Although, very nice. So
Weakness, man.
we see Nathan likes to raise the flop. It's only the second hand we're seeing with him, but seems like a very reasonable spot for it, by the way. But
Yeah.
just something to note.
No bluff.
He raises flops and not
bluff,
everyone
right?
would.
I want to see the 7 deuce.
You gotta show the 7 deuce to
was-
get paid,
was
man.
winning on that
Can I
five.
see that bar?
He had a real hand. Let everybody else put the money in, and then
Showdown. So only earn half your game.
at that point, I like that raise because he knows exactly where he stands.
Yeah, mark my words. I will lose my whole thing of trying.
Yeah,
to
I agree.
bullshit, but I don't understand.
And he maximizes the amount of money he gets from the looser players at the table.
Getting there is pretty
Hence,
easy.
hence the little extra bonus if you do it.
Black $20 straddle big blind.
I will take one.
$20 straddle is on here.
Funny.
I'll take 2.
Nathan's jumping on the chat.
Can I just give you a?
Thank you, Nathan.
Because I bought the bulk bag.
Got to keep
and
these
the-
people honest.
Yeah, please. Yeah, give me a big cup.
I mean,
I wanted options.
they're clearly we have the most expert poker player chat in
chat
YouTube
looks
history.
big.
And David, I think the 7 deuce game is on, I'm guessing.
We
Let's
got
see.
him. We got him.
We got him.
7 deuce game is on.
It
And it
is.
looks like $25 a piece.
Oof.
I needed you to
Pretty
call
pretty
and go to
hefty.
Showdown, Quinn.
You like playing 7 deuce, Alex?
Absolutely.
I'll-
And now,
Absolutely.
you know,
Having it.
I find it so frustrating. But it just changes all the incentives.
Yeah. It's interesting. Players will kind of maybe think about it
spades, look like
pre-flop,
Put a
but
thousand behind.
even by the time you get to the river, it still changes ranges a lot, and people don't always adjust properly for that.
And then
Just
usually
get
by the end,
ready.
again.
'Cause I gotta
Greg,
try to win
1,000 more
this
behind.
one.
Last stream.
You got it now, Zach?
Yeah.
Your player checks on live stream, please.
I got it.
Cool.
Four's coming. Four's coming. It's all right.
1,000.
I got him.
Looks like Zach's adding on.
35. Call. Fold. 4 heads up.
Notice he waited until he got to the button.
Yep. I like that. I usually keep chips in my pocket and throw them on when I'm on the buttons.
Wasn't one of our big hands,
Yep.
Chris, on the last stream?
As Tommy Angelo says, money flows clockwise
I think
Yeah.
I defended in the big
to the
blind
button.
too, or
So
or
you'd
raised
rather
or
be
something, and then
at the
I
bottom of
went
that
barrel,
slope
But then I rivered a flush.
when
But
you're
he was seven-
when
I'm saying
you're
it was 7 deuce, wasn't it? Yeah, that's what
Jack gets big.
I thought.
Yeah, you had top 2.
And Quinn
Yes,
flops
yeah.
Zach and takes it down.
It's definitely not what I was expecting
Flop
to
bet.
see at the river.
It's one of those things where you're on screen and you see some news go, I'm gonna
Arch is down a bit. Quite a bit.
Blocks in front of you, so
So they can see it. I
Yeah.
like to hide them.
I know that's not good
Yeah.
poker etiquette.
Well, he did get all in the queens versus the kings there.
Yeah,
I like to hide
you're
'em.
saying it's not exactly his fault.
Just my natural inclination to hide my strengths and showcase my weaknesses.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
You're good. You're good.
Hard work.
So I gotta dig a little deeper to
Found the
see
cups?
Oh no.
all the strong points.
I got-
on
I
you.
got-
Okay.
Of all the things I'm weak
Okay.
at,
Yeah.
I will.
Well, that explains Friday night. All right.
Cups that we could use. Just for cups.
I mean, what battle of the blinds
Blazing with
here?
your weaknesses, I get it.
Okay. Oh,
Smart.
great. Yeah.
Present your weaknesses
Yeah, and Sparks is going to win that battle.
yeah.
you hide your strengths as weak points.
I learned from last time.
Let's see. Got it.
Have kings and you have queens, and just fold to your.
That.
Did you not want to
It's an easy game.
You gotta write your own blog post. Forget this guy's almond. Like, here's point one. He has queens, have kings. I don't care if you had almonds or ho-hos. You're gonna be all right in the long run.
Alex, if you watch the live stream, you can learn from me. Just put everything in the
And
Yeah.
Zach hurrying back with a lot of. Oh no, sorry, that's Nathan hurrying back with a lot of cups.
always have in your hand whatever's going to come up on the floor.
I think they're sharing. It's snack time here at the poker table.
Blog boys.
Absolutely.
Point number 2.
Who brought the orange slices?
Quinn
Quinn
Trying
with
to
the
find-
ambitious
chips in a hurry.
open.
Chips in a hurry, and it looks like he put in 15 and it wasn't enough, so he added another 5. Alex just calling, it's a hand you could 3-bet, and Dave very, very likely to 3-bet with the 7 deuce. 3-betting big, by the way.
Sure. Well,
100
the other problem with 7 deuce is after you get hit with it 3 or 4 times, you're going to go nuts the next time you see it.
There it is.
I didn't think I was
Boom.
gonna show up and
There it is.
yeah,
So good.
just running good, getting 7
That's a
deuce.
big bonus, by the way. I mean, we're talking
I used to like getting ace.
125, 150 bucks, depending on how many people are at the
You
table.
went out at the table?
Yeah, yeah.
You have 30 stacks.
And Zach is trying to negotiate to see if he
That's up to you. I don't know.
has to pay, even though he wasn't at the table.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, you had cards.
What's your ruling on that,
If I had 7
well,
deuces, Zach is
Judge
in the
Alex?
building. He's
They
got-
agreed that since he got cards, he should pay, which I think sounds fair to me. I think if you didn't get cards, I mean, if you go to change your car, park your car
He
for
said 7 deuce games on
an
it.
hour and you come back, you have to pay $500 to various 7 deuces of the world. That doesn't seem quite
The
fair.
first Poker Unicorns
All right,
mansion
all right.
party
I'll go with that.
poker game. Yeah.
How creative do you guys think it's gonna get?
I'm prepared to get.
David is our attorney
We have a
table.
former World Series of Poker main event champion. Wow. Most likely joining us at the big game.
I like to hear that offline, who it is.
So Zach is talking about there's going to be a Poker Unicorns live,
And,
live game in early June before the BTC Miami conference.
I'm sure Nathan can guess who it is. We're not, it has to be secret.
Has to be
There's a secret guest.
Clues at pokerunicorns.com.
Are there seats available for aspiring?
Well,
Yeah.
I think the big game is filled.
are they flying us in for that, Alex?
Oh, we're gonna have some 2-5 and 5-10 tables.
Sounds pretty fun for me.
I might get one of those seats.
How many people are we?
Yeah, we have the 6.
6.
Miami is the new
How
Austin.
many of you guys are gonna have? 6, 8.
Looking at 8. Yeah.
All right, Quinn.
Jeremy Gardner
Oh yeah,
helped
he's
hook
a,
us up with
it's
the mansion.
a paint card.
Made man an awesome venture.
How to play it.
Oh, okay, so we now have a place again.
Yeah. Pool, Cuban food, Wait, good.
It's gonna be fantastic.
Lux,
You don't want to miss it.
Lux
It
Ham.
goes a long way to creating an atmosphere.
Sounds pretty fun.
Yes,
Sounds like a good game.
for sure.
Yeah.
And
You guys think this will be a
Sponsored by
an ongoing
Ships.
thing?
Yeah.
Sponsored by Ships and Poker Unicorn.
Basically,
Interesting.
assuming this goes well.
I mean, the 7 of diamonds, pretty good card for Zach.
Start doing
Yeah.
Yeah, just like a
Backdoor
round.
The rest of
flush,
them,
backdoor
take them or
straight.
leave them.
You know.
Quinn.
So
Ah.
Unbounded is going to do
loser.
this big Unbounded Summit in the fall. most
Loses
likely in
his
October
courage
in
just
New York
in
City.
time.
And so I'll probably do a game in the city around that event.
No, I'm good. I'm
Yeah.
Stretching.
Oh, okay. I thought I heard it.
You going down as well?
Yeah, so the idea of
Yeah.
Poker Unicorns, we're getting
Oh, nice.
investors,
When will you guys
entrepreneurs, many of them in the crypto space
the game or
or
before?
technology
I'm going to
space
get there a
across
couple
the
days
table,
before.
It's just the game
playing
all
some
night.
cards, having some conversation. We're hearing a little more of the conversation this time, which is nice, and
Villainous Dr.
talking about other games they're playing
Yeah.
around the nation.
I got
Here
a
we
couple
are at
things to
TCH
attend to.
in
Okay, Mr.
Texas
Burns.
Card House in Austin.
Enjoy it.
Anywhere there's investors and poker,
Evil ways.
we will go.
Yes.
Oh, Quinn with a real Quinn hand.
Yeah. There you go.
lots of notifications that I want to see who's watching.
And
Oh, 6-3 suited on the button.
No, we can't talk.
That is one of my favorites.
6-3 suited.
Oh, it absolutely comes out of the blue. Sure, it only pays off like once a year, but when it does, it
What is it?
feels so sweet.
110 total.
Like using it at all?
You know what I love is making a gigantic
Yeah,
river
as long as
bet,
you're on the hand, using
and they
different-
say, well, as long as you don't have 6-3, I'm good. Oh, well, there's no better feeling in poker
Google,
than that.
like does flush speed.
That's pretty
Okay,
good.
you're not dumb enough to play this.
Tell you.
It
does.
heads up,
You're on top of it.
So Zach make kind of
I'm not
loose.
saying playing it out in the field. I'm saying
Very reliable.
on the button.
Yeah. All right. I feel it. I feel it.
Patel.
Zach made a kind of loose 3-bet flop top pair, and Alex here with a pair and backdoor straight draw, and is going to call
And backdoor
Everything you
flush.
do at the table.
There's
and backdoor flush draw.
information is what I heard from somebody. Even the way you
Is
can't
that a Daniel
you can't willy nilly.
Jack checks. I don't know if you're going to get 3 straight to
You know,
value
might
necessarily
always-
here.
No,
What about willy-nilly almonds?
let's see.
Yeah, I was eating almonds.
Yeah. Oh, I know.
Interesting.
As long as you're watching.
I'll tell you what it
Gonna
means
feel.
after.
Alex is going to choose to
Because it's very messy. So you
kind of a semi-bluff here, I guess.
face thing and then
Most players might check, but given that Zach
Yeah, I think-
checked the turn, you might not have enough equity to just check it down to the river. Might be what Alex is thinking about.
Yeah, I think he knows he's behind now.
Zach's gonna check again. I think he's pretty comfortable to pick off a bluff here. Alex is thinking, should I go for it? I know I'm not good now.
That's good.
And he doesn't go for it. I think Alex played that hand pretty well, I gotta say.
Yeah,
pretty,
the
pretty good
turn,
turn card, you know.
turn stab is a reasonable place.
But I think not going for it in the river made sense too.
Hard to see.
I was thinking about going for it on the river.
Would have totally worked.
All right, in the
was a
comments,
call
we have predictions of physical violence. And to be clear, Alex and I are utterly opposed to physical violence that is not caught on stream.
So you get 50 from me, and you give me 25.
And Stu, you know, if I knew you better, I would make a bet with you.
He's like,
But
No, let me
since
raise
Alex
your
and I are
voice.
so opposed to untelevised violence, we can't really comment further.
Think about it, Chris.
Since Alex, they're talking about why he chose not to go for it there.
It's a-
Oh, Stu means with the hands, not actual physical violence. I see.
Oh,
top of mine just says 60.
With
yeah,
the
but
hand,
which
not
hand,
with his
left
hand.
or right?
Yeah.
Come on. No, wouldn't that be a great moment in televised poker history?
Are we allowed to like mess with between types?
Actually capture an assault, especially something that led to criminal prosecution.
I'm still in, yeah. You gotta make at least double.
And Quinn.
Throw that.
With
No
the
jack, no jack.
Small
no
three
jack.
bet.
No, Dave, come on.
Quick jack three bet.
In the window. In the window.
Oh,
Calling your shot.
dude, and he raised the stakes.
Probably has
slightly,
two in his
like,
hand, too. Super degenic.
Sorry, was it a three bet? Oh no, sorry. I think Quinn just
Dave, why do
opened
you have to call it
small
that? Why
to
do you
the
have to fucking
straddle, and then Sparks
Dude, I
called
like- I'm
the
sorry, I
$20.
like seeing
Quinn
that.
bet, and Sparks.
Do you have a jack in your hand, Quinn?
You feeling bad that you told me everything I know already?
I probably did not have a very good hand.
Out of nowhere, it says.
Mine nothing.
Give your,
Sorry, I thought I was
Pennies, right?
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
No, 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 no.
Oh, yeah. Call dark.
Someone's got to manage me when I play. You know, I need someone to tell me, hey, you're small.
Give your cards when you're done.
You'll
Tip.
forget to muck
Keep
your
those
hand
things in mind,
trick.
and You'll do well here.
Calling every hand.
Sounds like they're starting to do a little
Queen hand now on the screen.
side betting on what cards you're gonna flop.
Quinn, you're going to go double or nothing on the jack?
On the jack, double or nothing? Yes, I'm in.
What did you guys did 50 before?
Well, do you want to do 50, 100?
So Alex, these kind of prop bets, like a red, black.
What's 50?
Yeah.
Do you
Oh, 2
like?
to 1. Yeah, okay. So my.
You want me in now?
Part of me
Sure,
wants
sure.
to always have an edge anytime there's a
We
bet.
need to do something new. Let's do a new.
But there's another part of me that realizes that just getting
for
chips
Queen.
moving around the table has
hey.
value in and of itself.
I agree.
Yeah, Queen works as well.
So
It doesn't
I'll
change things for you.
I'll do something that's EV
I wish you
neutral
said, like, I'm not feeling a queen. I
Just
wish you declined on
on the
something
off
live
chance
right
it'll
now?
tilt somebody.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Not against this
We'll
guy.
save-
Not
not-
a
nothing
jack,
live
maybe,
now.
but
That's
not
the
a
next one.
queen.
Ugh.
And pretty nice flop for Quinn. Another nice flop for Quinn. Dave not with much, as Quinn's gonna lead here after calling pre-flop,
I need to just bully.
and Dave. You know, he could consider bluff catching, but what? Are you just gonna keep calling through the river? It's gonna be pretty tricky.
Something I
They
some
said,
friends,
yeah.
some other people,
But yeah,
which
some
is,
deuce, queens,
so like a long-term bet, like over
something
years.
good,
Oh, nice. Quinn does not show it.
something better
If
than what I had.
BSV trades above BTC
Nice hand.
for more than 24 hours, I get bas-
Like it's at 56,000.
So Zach is talking about a cryptocurrency bet he has. Let's
No,
see if
just
you
BSV
listen to
trades
this.
higher
Pretty
than
interesting
BTC.
here.
So BTC, if BTC collapses and BSV doesn't, then BSV, you know, then I win the bet.
So
Uh,
Zach is taking,
On
like,
any exchange, or what's the
Any
reputable exchange?
yeah.
So the real kicker of the deal.
I'm not looking to win on like a technicality of some
It's
tiny.
all through his company at Easy Point. So he's getting points built up.
No. So you need to hear that pro bet. So I made a bet with high school friends.
No.
5 of them are in on it. And the
Quinn's
deal is
opening
that
Quinn,
Yep.
I either get 10 BSV
as one does.
when this happens. So like that could be like an $100,000+ BSV. So I told them all to hedge, so I don't feel bad when I take it
So
from them.
I got 2.5 BSB and I put it into Celsius. Now it's earning 6% on BSB or whatever.
But if they win the bet, I bring us together for like an awesome 3 day
And
weekend
another
in
good
Vegas.
flop for Quinn, except that
epic
Alex has
suites.
the king.
Yeah, he's
I'll be able to
dominated.
get a good deal on those
He's
for
going to
that.
put some money in on this one.
actually was.
If BSV trades higher than BTC for
Oh.
24 hours,
Oh, okay.
I with the high school friends, I get 10 BSV from them.
I got you.
And if I lose, I have to book 4 suites and have like an
Okay.
epic weekend.
And what's
then
the
Quinn,
time
Quinn
horizon?
is one suite for 2.5 BSV. I think it's till like the end of
So
2025.
interesting here
Yeah.
that
Just
Sparks
lock,
is sniffing
lock.
something out. Kind of picking the wrong time for it, but
How many of you guys take
It's-
that bet?
yeah.
BTC. What is it? BSV above BTC?
I'm in on
yeah. So talking about BSV, BTC,
had-
two
so
kinds
I
of
mean,
Bitcoin.
the
Bitcoin
nice
is
thing is,
Satoshi's
like,
Vision, and BTC, obviously the more famous.
2.5 BSB.
Bitcoin.
And Zach's
But the thing
Zach's
is,
betting.
if I win the bet, I'm
Zach
doing
is
very
betting the
well right
BSV
now.
is going to trade above
It's basically a
BTC
guaranteed Vegas weekend.
for a while.
against a weekend in Vegas.
Yes.
Complicated ways of going to Vegas, man.
Ooh, good action card.
They did.
Sparks is not going anywhere.
But I mean, it's less fun.
I like that comment. You guys have complicated ways of going to Vegas. Sparks.
I'll be happy
If
to.
you want
Sparks
to.
is
Yeah, I
gonna.
just spend money.
Sparks is gonna keep it going here, and this is really interesting at this point.
Is it time? Alex just flats. Oh, to keep Quinn in.
And Quinn's
Very
probably gonna
sensible.
stay in. Why not?
All right, I'm gonna cheer for a deuce on this river.
Let's see. Really interesting
the-
situation here as
That's
we
the
come into the
maximum
river.
pain card.
Interesting to see if the
king.
queens can keep calling. If Sparks does not get there, which he does not.
He didn't need to imagine me naked.
Sparks is thinking about what to do. Obviously,
I was gonna say Banya.
can't win by just checking, but he needs to get through 2 players, right? So
Yep.
might have to go big, and he just does decide to check.
Take everyone to the.
Alex with a real decision here, I think, whether to go for some value or not.
So it's like.
Yeah,
you'll
Sparks
have-
could be
so
lying in
often
the
you kind of
weeds
like you get worked on by
with
someone like.
something.
It's more common for people to get treatments there.
Possibly,
It's like
but
Turkish aesthetic, you know,
Being in the middle is
less
just uncomfortable.
extreme than like the hot, super hot,
Yeah,
hot and the
and
cold colds of the
Quinn
rest of the house.
has a pretty easy check here, I think, although he is.
Now he's reaching for chips. Good, Quinn.
And
There you
Sparks really.
Value bet in
Okay,
that pairs
now
up.
he did give up, but theoretically,
He could have check raised.
I think it's actually a better spot to check raise than to just bluff.
I got a
Especially with Alex checking. Alex probably has the stronger range among the two of them, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, these almonds are good.
Sparks does choose to fold it,
I'll buy a jumbo pack next time.
I remember.
and
from,
Alex is really thinking about
taking
it.
into your,
Chooses to call,
going to
makes the
your
right
house.
decision, and
Well, because Quinn's got all the goofy 2 pairs in his hand.
You had all. You had the same exact. Yeah. All the.
it's funny because Alex showed the queen first, which in most situations would be a slow roll, but since Quinn's kicker was a deuce, any hand beat him besides his exact hand, which would chop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't really a slow roll.
Call. Quinn first, Quinn. Good call.
Yeah, I figured you had it. Chris, what were you sitting on?
I turned a straight draw.
So let's tell you guys a little more about some of these players. So I mentioned Chris, founder of the Forcing Functions.
You weren't supposed to have.
There's a lot of executive training, also a poker professional.
He always has a queen.
Quinn does renewable energy and does a lot in crypto, customized technical solutions for crypto projects, and he's new to poker.
Yeah, the river was a thin card.
Zach, we know, runs a hedge fund, talking about BSV there, which is one of the bets his hedge fund is making.
And has a startup of his own
I didn't watch SNL last night.
selling
Yeah.
I just love that he
low-priced
enjoyed
premium
it.
airline tickets.
There you go. In fact, fun fact, Zach provides he hasn't taken a salary from the hedge fund. He's been supporting himself with the travel business.
I just love that he goes
As Quinn, with another Quinn hand, wins.
like almost in the same instance. It's like
Go.
Although he's feeling a little pain.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
last
last
hand.
hand I think took a little
Everyone I know from like
wind
people
out of
that
your
think
sails.
about crypto or trading
I
in
can
markets,
remember
like,
being a new poker
crypto
player
hedge
and
fund
having
managers,
top pair and thinking,
Everyone I talked about were
world
playing
was my
so
oyster.
between The time of
Yeah.
24 hours in advance.
Problem is, if a bunch of money goes in, you're probably
That's what we call an event-driven strategy, right?
Yeah.
Elon hosting SNL.
I saw they were tracing addresses, and there's a good argument that he's the.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Oh,
The largest Doge holder.
really?
That's
Quinn with another,
I had
the
a
suited
driver
Quinn.
today tell me
He,
in broken English.
he is like, the queens are magnetically attracted to him.
But my doggy
the
coin
name.
is good. My doggy coin is good. I'm like,
Well,
my dad
he's a ladies' man, what can I say?
this is an interesting moment.
I am not qualified to comment on that.
that's like if there's like
And
some big short
another pot goes his way.
taxi drivers telling you to flip houses. The shoe shiner. Yeah.
What
I'll always remember that.
Who are we to
as an
argue with
moment in the
success?
trajectory of
The mighty
crypto.
Quinn
I have
with
doggy coin.
56% VPIP.
He'll win
I was a little
something
surprised,
today.
but I also found it hilarious where Michael Shannon update is like, oh, so it's just a hustle? And Elon goes like, yeah, and starts laughing like a little girl. That was great.
They're talking about Elon Musk's appearance on SNL last night, talking about Dogecoin. Did you catch that, Ken?
What?
I did not. I am not an Elon Musk fanboy.
Yeah.
Good for him.
Awesome, Chris.
And
Go next. A lot
I have plenty of stuff already in my head. I don't need that.
Well, if Zach wins this high school bet, he'll be.
I'm sorry if you're like the founder of the Elon Musk fanboy club.
With this
Now
high
I
school
just
bet, or
insulted
whatever,
you.
BSV bet.
Well, no, I'm not the world's biggest,
You know, have fun.
not the world's biggest fan.
backstage.
But
People are scared of you, Quinn. No one wants to
Gonna win
fight.
All I
again.
see is like, oh, he's got queens. He's got
Guys, don't
queens.
focus too much on like, funny actors and.
I didn't realize that was the first
What
time.
about all like the investors?
It was
Where
the
are the
fir-
investors on
it was-
SNL?
th-
You
They
know?
were
On
saying it was
what?
the first time a
SNL.
non-media
on
person
SNL?
has
Yeah,
hosted it in
exactly.
like 20-something years.
Yeah.
That was insane. I didn't realize that.
Yeah,
A non-media,
funny.
non-politician in like 20 years.
I'm funny.
you're pretty
I've been
funny.
told him.
You're funny.
It is interesting to see
This
how
guy's writing about almonds.
Elon Musk has kind of
I mean, he could be on Saturday Night
how
Live.
popular he's become, how famous he has become. It's
Yeah.
fascinating.
About
It's a
almonds, we're quite
different era of
Most of our
business.
jokes here have been better than Saturday Night Live jokes. I think,
I think
rather
people
watch
are
this
looking
than SNL.
for hope and certainty.
Zach raising to 100 with the ace nine. Pretty interesting here. Remember, the 7 deuce game is on, so it could smell like 7 deuce. Quinn is a real hand. King 10, he's gonna call.
Oh,
I
he's
mean,
not going anywhere.
and Sparks is gonna fold with the dominated king. So Zach and Quinn heads up, already $220 in the pot, and not a whole ton behind, as neither of them flops much of anything. Zach's probably gonna continue, and Quinn. What are we going to do here as Quinn? I mean, we do have a backdoor flush draw. We do have a backdoor straight draw.
And Zach,
We are showing Zach our
oh,
hands
shit.
by accident.
That's another one of those. At first, you think it's not a big deal, and then. All right. So what's your etiquette when you can see somebody flash cards?
What's my etiquette? Is I'll tell them the first time, but you didn't ask what I would do.
I forgot I was wearing this when I went to the bathroom,
That's
so,
also mine. I will tell them once,
tell yourself
and then
secrets
I will
like
take
this?
advantage of the
Did it go
information.
okay in there?
Now, what's your etiquette if you see someone looking at another person flashing cards?
It's got a camera attached.
None of my business.
I'll try
Unless
to
I'm
point
in
it
the
out.
I've
hand.
heard about someone doing that.
I'll try to point it
in
out.
Presentation.
Oh,
They
interesting.
set the mic on when
I'll try to be like,
Well, there's been some
I'll make a
pretty
joke of it. I'll be like,
detailed-
so what does he have?
Ah,
Usually that starts a fight, but at least it
Wait, Zach,
alerts the showee or the shower that the showee is
damage is done.
enjoying the show.
yeah.
Yeah.
Funny to watch.
Well, it's a pretty big call out.
People realize it, what's happening at different points.
Yeah.
All right, Zach's got a real hand to 3-bet,
And Nathan has the worst spades
and
here.
the
and
Quinn
has a-
with the Quinn.
Quinn with the Quinn. Sparks with the
Wanna do the
real
queen
hand,
prop bet
but
on this-
chooses
on
to
this
fold with Nathan behind.
Yeah.
And Nathan. Again, Zach pushes Quinn. Again, it's a pretty bloated pot heads up.
Yep.
You're taking. I'm taking the queen, right?
You're taking the
I'm
queen.
not betting against the queen. There's gonna be a queen.
Why is Quinn?
That's so good.
Flops
So-
it again.
Every time.
Quinn bet on a queen. He has a queen in his hand, which is a pretty good reverse
I would
tell.
have taken it, so yeah,
Yes.
I'll give it to you.
Zach doesn't think the Quinn has a queen because if you had a queen in your hand, you probably wouldn't bet on a queen flopping.
Yeah, I
And
think
yet,
Quinn has some potential.
in other words,
I'll settle after the
he
hand.
took the bad bet, but it's going to really screw Zach up in the hand.
Oh, except
Yeah.
the
Except
the
that Zach-
miracle.
Turns the straight, yeah.
Wow.
All in?
That's all.
What?
So I'm gonna call.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, oh, that's
Jockeys probably.
Lock the doors.
Oh. Oh.
ouch.
Queen again. He looked down, knew a queen was coming, locked in the bet.
I should have settled the bet at the beginning of the hand.
Wow.
Put it on roommate.
There,
All right, there comes the payoff from the
Locked in,
What was I
flop.
thinking?
paired.
So Quinn
Queen.
has a
Wow.
lonely $100.
Zach Reddick
Ah,
turns the
brutal.
What's new?
it's always nice shoved on when you just turned the nuts.
You're sitting on the nuts. Yeah.
Nice feeling.
Yeah, I got chapter.
Nice hand, Zach Resnick.
Thank you.
Very nice.
Let's see. Looks like Quinn's buying for more. It seems like Sparks is pushing him over some change.
Players check, live stream, please.
We have a live prediction from the stream. User Stuttgart says, I predict Sparks hitting Zach over the head within the next hour and 45 minutes. Pin the comment. There we go.
Well, fuck that.
You get live curling on.
Dude, you've run pretty well on that That
Yeah.
was it the window. Was the queen in the window that time?
The window?
I definitely
And-
flopped.
Yeah. That's the first card.
That's where I won my $100.
Nathan's going to open here.
Jack was in the window.
Nathan, a pretty tight opener, right?
The
So
first card that you
Zach is going to 3-bet with
Called-
ace 10,
called
which
the
I don't
window.
know about.
First card. that
Given
gets laid
Nathan's
out on the
tightness
flop
that we've
before
seen,
he-
although maybe
before he spreads it, it's called the
150.
window.
the tightness is illusory. We've only seen him play a few hands after all. Quinn's going to fold.
I get 1K each, green and black.
Sparks. Kind of interested to see what Sparks is going to do here. There's been open and a 3-bet.
Yeah, he's waiting in the weeds.
You sure about that?
And Nathan's just going to fold.
All right.
So I guess that it's funny
Small-
because I
small
said
is
that
prepared.
the tightness
pair?
makes
How do you know?
you want a 3-bet less, but on the
just
other
so you
hand,
don't
you're
pay
more
for it.
likely to get the
I don't know what
fold
that means. Like, it's face-
straight away from the 3-bet as well.
It's only 100. You know, I'm
That's
giving
The
you.
only way I win in a game of poker with people like you is to just be totally unpredictable, right?
You've made- you've made-
I'm like the volatile noob, and you,
Hey,
like, you just are not quite
Come on,
sure.
you give you.
If he's turning the
This
nut
dude- this
straight,
dude
it's
is-
gonna be hard.
Weak means strong.
Exactly.
That's what I'm doing.
Maybe when we first started playing a couple years ago that'd be true, but
There's no way. I haven't played poker in like a year, basically. I just started playing again at Poker House to prep.
the last
for
time I
Miami.
saw you in person, you're like, I'm going to this fucking card house.
Yes.
Come and hang out.
I went there because I wanted to get fresh. Remember what chips look like.
Nathan talking about getting in some reps here
You know.
as Sparks
You know.
refreshing his stack.
Yep.
Where in Texas is this? We are in Austin and to deep in sorry, can't pronounce your name. Yes, they were dissecting your comments, Stugatz, and until I heard your name out loud, I
So
didn't.
Chris, I heard on the
hear
way
the,
on the drive.
the
here, you've
Stugatz
been making
reference
some,
there.
Some moves in the
Yeah.
crypto-
Really?
crypto trade.
What does that mean, Alex?
Care to share with the.
All I know is it's a
Entire
very
world? No, okay.
nice boat
You're
in a
not gonna
TV
share?
show.
Cool.
That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
Thing.
The name of a boat.
I've been thinking
The name
about
of
Why
a
would
boat.
why would someone name themselves after a boat? But that's okay. I don't need to understand these things.
It's kind of it's a card house thing. It's like a bounty.
And
So when we play.
Zach
the
gets
game
the
that
ace
we came
eight.
Here on Monday, if you everyone
Oof.
has Pikachu, and if you stack.
Quinn with a real hand here.
if you stack
Hello.
over, you win a pot over
Ah,
5K,
he's gonna be
then
sad he's
you
only
get
got
there,
1K
you get
back.
your Pokemon.
Getting a little
So it's
change,
like a
and
way
then
of,
he's
like,
gonna
collecting scalps.
open
Yeah.
with. He could have probably just used the green chip. That's okay.
Like, do you keep it forever?
You keep it forever, yeah.
That's pretty
And you like put it on display, and so
nice.
you're constantly reminded that.
Oh, here we go. It's going in.
100.
Uh-oh.
It's not in play, but you win. Everyone has one. You win the other person's one you stack.
You get
Yeah,
a new
it's a
one
small
every
raise for
Monday?
Quinn.
Or what? How do you?
I've been getting a new one.
Yeah, and Dave's gonna 3-bet. Quinn is probably just
Oh,
gonna
wow, there's another.
look like just a call there. So now we're heads up to a flop here with $210 in the middle. Ace King versus Kings. Let's see how this happens.
Never heard-
Low,
I've never heard
low,
of
low flop. So Dave
I'm
gonna check
I'm
and
obsessed with
and
sleep. It's
hand could end here. Although I'm
Yeah.
hoping something more
Remember I was
interesting
asking you
happens. Let's
about
find
it
out.
Months before. Yeah, I got it. I got it basically immediately after. It's just it really helps going to sleep.
Yeah.
And then the best thing is the alarm aspect of it.
Oh, how do they do the alarm?
Looks like
Vibrates and I warm it up.
looks like the flop went check
typically I
check.
wake up before the vibrating
and
happens.
Quinn bet the turn. Dave's gonna be
Exactly.
pretty
So you
tempted
never
to
wait
call
for,
here. I
like,
mean,
And
Quinn's pretty splashy, and
like
Quinn gets the call.
out.
I wonder if Dave will
Slowly
keep
knows
bluff
that
catching
because it's getting warmer now.
through the river here as Dave checks and Quinn very
if I'm really
quickly
tired,
reaches
it's
for
not
chips.
really
Gonna make a pretty big bets.
Got a mattress in New York. At this point, it's just easier to buy one.
You gotta think about it. I mean,
Exactly. Well, and for what it's worth, I didn't get the.
there weren't too
18,
many
Queen,
draws on
king,
the.
so that's
Jack,
like $3,000.
Queen Jack. I
I
mean,
got one-
although
I think I got
it's
like
a little
17, which is
putting
probably
Quinn on a range.
Because I really like my mattress and already had it.
Okay, sorry. Sorry, I apologize
The topper.
to you, Alex, and to all the viewers.
It's like closest thing to no alarm.
If you're gonna do it, let me get you a little credit. Yeah. Give me a couple days to get you.
Really interesting situation Dave's thinking through, and he ends up making the right decision, but not by any means easy to do.
Oh, Quinn, don't show.
Don't show. Now, that's a situation where a little bit of chatting with Quinn might have might have yielded some good information. I think, especially if you're on the fence there, right? You're both cash is king.
I wanted to re-raise on free flop.
Yeah, there's
Interesting.
no upside to showing right there.
Interesting stats here. Sparks 50% of his hands went to showdown. Nathan only 25%. We're seeing Nathan fold a lot.
Yeah.
Nathan, by the way, I liked this. We asked, got some information ahead of time. So he's the author of How to Be a Capitalist Without Any Capital, the 4 rules you must break to get rich.
The other ones, yeah.
And he says, here's his personal philosophy. You ready for this?
Really fun. I look
Winning
forward to,
means your calendar is blank.
I got to go there in the next month or two.
I'm 100% behind that.
Yeah.
I love those days.
Yeah, let's
When I wake up and what do I want to do today? I just got nothing. Okay, I might fly to Fiji. I might play poker. I might study organic chemistry. Whatever.
Yeah.
Maybe go to the beach.
You know, it's a real. I think that's a cultural shift we've seen. I think that there's been that is not something you would have heard.
We'll make that happen,
someone
Chris.
say
We'll
in the 80s.
That might be a post
Yeah.
summer travel thing, but
Yeah, I'm gonna try to at least get there once before I go.
Cool.
I think there's a widespread belief that
Man, it just looks
it's funny because a lot of these professional jobs, you know,
a lot of
you
fun.
make
A lot of fun.
you make more double the salary of another job and you work more than double the hours. And I think there's been some of the backlash to that with the millennial generation that I am perhaps a member of. It's really an interesting evolution.
Have you
that we've
looked
seen.
into getting a personal assistant yet?
Yeah, in my generation, that was just the way things were.
Yeah.
Calling you out.
I just have freelancers.
Raised?
That's
You need someone to be able to do that for you.
Tim's
all
company.
right. Quinn's definitely calling.
Yeah.
Any 2 cards. Oof.
Nice.
Zach likes to
Yeah, I
these
look
big
forward
raises.
to
Oh!
looking into that.
You make the
at some-
discipline
that's-
fold.
Sparks with the real
Matches
hand
too,
could,
that's like another level.
could definitely repop it, and he does to 300 as Zach is going to
Chris.
lay it down here.
Yeah, he doesn't want to play that out
My
of
preference
position.
is always just to
Not against
define all
Chris
the
Sparks.
tasks and then hire someone that's specific for the task versus a catch-all EA.
You flop
So-
an
That's
ace and
why
you
I have
still don't know where you sit.
Yeah.
No mothers at the table, I don't
No,
think,
for
but
sure.
happy
That
Mother's
makes
Day to
sense.
any mothers who are
Something
watching
definitely
in.
I've
Absolutely.
learned from experience and working with Chris and the forcing function is it's just good to have like slack in your system, and like if you don't have, if your time is really valuable and you're often busy and you don't have someone that's like effectively waiting around to help you with stuff, you probably don't have a big enough team, you know, because there's always
See,
gonna
they're
be
talking
something
about
that
the
comes up
similar
that you
thing,
can't, like
the value
build
of
out a
having
process,
time in your
like,
schedule.
you know,
And you need someone to go hire all the specific assistants for specific tasks.
that's the next level.
I don't like hiring. I like small teams,
Yeah.
SWAT teams.
Yeah.
Again, some really nice conversation, I have to say, in this program. Interesting to hear these
Yeah.
entrepreneurs talk about how they're building their businesses, comparing, contrasting, sharing tips. And that's the mark of a good game. You know, if people are getting more out of the poker game than the buy-in, then they're gonna not care if they lose money.
It's on you.
It's on me. Okay.
That's 35.
Nothing.
Quinn with the ambitious lead.
Raise to 115. Fold. Fold.
Chris, what happens if I make it 250 there?
I was not gonna fold there. You guys, I did not have a pair, but I was not going to fold.
Got it.
But you didn't have a pair?
But I did not have
I was gonna pull one of yours if it folded to me.
What Tommy Angelo calls
Sorry,
Sixth
you can't- it's
Street.
hard for you to raise there.
When everybody
It's
starts
just-
lying about what they had, what they would have done, what they wouldn't have done.
Pocket threes, pocket fours, little pairs, but probably most of your hands that are continuing are for a call.
Bubble.
I'm passionate, but
Let's see here.
Sparks with a
I had a-
flush draw and a gut shot.
Oh,
Of course he's going to bet there.
Fold.
Yeah, I was happy to get in.
yeah.
I'd say this game is good, but probably likely to get better. I think some of the players have been playing relatively tight, and it's going to be interesting to see them loosen up a little bit. Not Quinn.
Yeah.
Quinn's
35.
been plenty willing to get involved here.
Has been fully stacked.
but still see some trepidatious, early game kind of play,
Yeah.
sniffing each other out here.
Alex with
I
the
lost a good
dominated
trust
hand.
to you with your
Oof.
queen.
Really
It'll cost him a
interesting,
little bit of money.
Queen hand. Queen. Yeah.
Hey, they picked up on our nomenclature.
Yeah, I think so. And Alex is probably going to call here with a second pair.
Yeah, no, I think you
Interesting
gotta do
hand,
what you
so-
gotta do. You gotta do.
Nathan has 1.1K back, so with these shallow stacks, it'll be interesting to see what happens.
I've never been, but I imagine similar to this.
Not a rule that more money has to go in here, but Nathan's going to keep betting. Still has top pair, and Alex still has second pair. Not a hand that's likely to get much better. Queen would be a very painful card for him, and he does make the fold. Nathan, by the way, I don't think we mentioned actually what he does. He runs a company called Founder Path, which is a fund that turns
It's a Miami game.
monthly recurring revenue into
The,
upfront cash for software as a service companies. Maybe, Ken, you could help us out a little bit with that.
Crypto plays.
Yeah, I was gonna ask.
So
Understand what that means.
say you started a company and you have a product, you're selling it, you've got some subscribers.
Bring
And
your.
now you need to go raise some capital so you can sell equity.
For the other
way
games, what we did is
companies
like,
have done that for years and years.
it's like when you get in there,
But
if you show
then you
very
have
physical
less
personality,
control and you own less of your own company. So Founder's Path is a style of financing where
I'm gonna have.
you're collecting $1 million a month. You go to Founder Path and they'll figure out how much that is worth and give you the present value of that revenue stream so that you can raise your $10 million without losing any equity. Now you don't get the $1 million a month anymore. That goes to Founder Path, but you have a bunch of money that you can spend on growing your company without losing any control.
Interesting.
Same
The
shit. Same
new
shit.
style of financing option,
And that game's gonna get pretty
and it makes sense
I know. I'm ready to lose a lot
from the
of money on a lot of fun.
financier's
Nathan's
perspective.
playing in the big game.
You're coming. All right.
They
And,
push.
Like I said, I only want to do the big games.
Sorry,
I
go
get
ahead.
smack talk with people.
Quinn calling here with the 8-3 and then
And then
flopping
nailing
you.
it.
Yeah.
I'll take a seat if one opens up for the same reason.
There you go.
Yeah.
Sparks did call with the king 6 off.
He wants
That's
them
what
seven deuce battle.
that's what the player like Quinn does for your game. People who usually are
He's representing
quite
a
sensible
queen.
poker players lose their mind a little bit because they're, especially if the loose player gets lucky and starts building a stack.
Yeah.
Oh, you see the good players just go nuts trying to get their money back.
Yeah.
Well, I figured it'd be unexpected with 8.
I was not expecting you to.
I also thought I had 2 for a second there, and then I check and realized, oh wait,
I will say, if the 7 deuce is on, you don't.
You should check.
It makes you
you
less
wanna get
willing
the
to play
match with the
8-3.
nuts.
Not that I'm ever willing to play 8-3, but it's
I'm
especially
not sure I agree with
bad
that.
when you're playing 7 deuce. I'm just saying.
That's right. The relative upside. If you're gonna play one junky hand, play the one that's got $150 in it for you.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that just reminded people the 7 deuce game is on. It looks like it's $25 per person if you were dealt in that hand. And some real hands here.
Yeah.
This could get interesting. Dave making a kind of conservative fold.
Family.
I needed a queen hand and I didn't have one. The original
like
type of queen.
everybody's
Hand.
bagging
Again,
on.
I like this. I don't like when someone's not, when someone's a fun player and everyone's like, wow, you're playing so great. I like that, it's all out in the open. These guys are friends and you know what's going on.
Go ahead and needle him.
Zach,
Zach has Sparks dominated.
yeah, and starting things big with $125.
And
Quinn's gonna.
Quinn's gut shot. I mean, he's got 30% equity. Good for him.
Ooh. All right. Sparks is gonna call and then, yeah, it's gonna fold. So, big pop ruin here, I gotta say.
Yeah. 3 ways we could see.
There's a pop ruin and
Oh, Quinn nails it.
that
Good
is
for him.
incredible.
I cheer for the underdog.
That is incredible. So now Zach, who bet the flop, checks the turn. Quinn is going to bet. Looks like $100 or so.
Oh, look at I like the
100.
hair, the rub the forehead. Like, oh gosh.
Yeah, a little bit of rubbing, and then the worst jack is going to call. The better jack is most likely going to call as well. He might even be thinking about raising.
Yep.
He's thinking about it. Let's
And
see.
here it comes.
500.
Oh, baby.
Yes.
$500 is
All
the
right,
raise.
Quinn. No, don't slow down, man.
Quinn just dumps it into the pot, and
Sparks
Sparks
has to
now.
fold here.
Yeah, I think so.
He's up against a better made hand and a draw.
So here we go into the river here,
It's going in.
and
The
only
perfect blank.
$550 behind. I think the only question is how it goes in. Does Zach jam or does Quinn? Zach could really consider checking here. I don't know that he's getting a worse hand to call necessarily. Although, actually, now that I say that, he probably would. A worse hand to call.
This is so great.
All right,
with a
how are you
big
reading?
smile.
How are you reading Quinn's body language here?
He looks like a happy camper.
I check.
He does.
All in and call.
Oh.
I got a jack.
You have a jack?
Yeah.
Straight.
Oh, he makes him show. Makes him show. That's beautiful. So
Beautiful. Mighty Quinn.
You can hear it. He's going, I know he's going to shove here. I'm just going to go.
Oh,
Wow.
And he did the,
that
oh, you
makes
got
me
it.
happy. See, that's why you watch
The queens are magnetically attracted.
streamed poker, which honestly sometimes can be pretty dry with less skilled commentators than you and I, Alex. But
Have a reputation as a lady.
You
that's
put 56% paying off for Quinn there as
Well, you
he
shouldn't have put that in your
drills.
thrills the turn.
Yeah.
It's all the money.
Yeah, you know, that might explain it.
Nice hand.
Yeah.
Wow, nice hand, Quinn.
I'll have to take it back on Thursday.
Your, the Quinn hands are expanding away from Queen Deuce.
Was there a better way I could have done that?
You
there's
can't get
no better
dealt
way
Queen
to do
Deuce
that.
every
You literally
hand.
max value from
There
everyone.
is
Chris,
no
Chris is only
better
good
way.
for 200 on the turn.
You fucked up like
I had basically the same hand as you.
Wow.
Was that the nuts or was there a way to beat that straight?
Got the nuts.
You had the nuts, man.
That's a great question. I didn't hear
Good.
Zach answer yet, though.
Nice needle. If that was on purpose, that would be a beautiful needle.
Yeah.
That's what you need.
I was worried about the potential flop.
All right, back to Quinn hands.
And then he goes.
Yeah, as Quinn has the
Quinn
another
opens the
bad
Quinn.
queen.
And he asked the guy whose chips he's stacking.
Wow.
I love it.
Wow.
Relatively
Wow,
tight fold
Nathan
there.
is playing extra tight.
I think so. I think so. Quinn is.
Oh, yeah. I'm in.
Oh yeah.
Alex, watch. This is coming off before.
That reaction was just beautiful.
Oh yeah, of
Oh,
course.
there's a queen there. Of course I'm gonna
We'll see
play
how
it.
goes.
And we'll see it on the flop. No.
Nice flop for Sparks there.
It does set up the redemption
I
card.
definitely was not ranting. I was in and out. I didn't want to miss a
God,
hand.
these fucking idiots. I got this guy to my left. I'm trying to be nice to him. He's a complete asshole. And it's like, all on the screen.
That would be amazing.
I'm sure that's happened to somebody somewhere.
Quinn leads.
Let me bet, yeah.
Yeah, Sparks just needs to milk it.
Should I have done it the same way?
Probably do it the same way,
So
yeah.
the check and then now a raise a small
But
amount.
it's really hard to have a three if
Dude.
you have two of them.
Just keep
Yeah,
doing what
interesting.
You're
He
doing
got
to
the-
Zach, whatever
Huh?
you're
He checked the flop and got the bet out of Quinn,
Whatever
and he's gonna raise.
doing to Zach is working.
That's probably gonna do it, but really nice to get that bet there. Nice disciplined play by Sparks to just check the flop.
Really, you don't call that turn and see if you can get one more bet on the river?
You were probably betting there. Keeping there.
Interesting.
Call, no matter what I had.
Yeah, I think there's a pretty good case for calling the turn now that you say that. I mean, again,
If you think Quinn is bluffing too much,
Waiting for you to catch up a little bit.
then that's a way of getting one more bet.
or even value betting too much, to be honest with you, because you're gonna beat, most of his value bets. He could even be value betting, small pairs, that kind of thing there. So
Right.
I think you're right. I think there is a case for just continuing to call.
That hurt, man. That hurt.
60.
Zach's still smarting over that all in.
Let's see what that does to his play.
You earned yourself a slow roll.
What's a slow roll?
You know what you just
You
did?
know, there's a lot of poker etiquette.
He doesn't know what it is.
All right, Quinn's got the Quinn,
Like,
and he just discovered tipping.
Right? So, like,
Yeah.
They were.
like my friend just punched my face.
So first,
right
it's
now.
it's 50 to you. But
You know, it's kind of like that.
so
then he said,
so in poker,
"Let's
if you're
punch in your
the
face."
aggressor,
Yeah, you know.
you're supposed to show first.
Okay.
Uh,
So there's
so when you're like,
A little bit of
oh,
lesson
lucky-
here.
like, typically if you have the best possible hand and someone just went all in and called you, you would show it. But what you were like, oh, what do you have? As in like, I might not necessarily just completely win this every single
Ugh.
time.
Well, I didn't know. I wasn't
Sparks
sure.
drills
Yeah.
it,
So you rolled over your hands.
and Nathan is
Nathan has the nut flush draw and the top pair.
all
Yeah,
right.
this could get really interesting between Sparks and Nathan. Sparks and Nathan with relatively different styles too. So always interested to see those kinds of showdowns. Quinn is going to check, and Sparks is going to check
Sparks
as well.
just checks.
There's a way to beat
So is this a check raise?
I think so. And Nathan,
answered that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Although, to be
I
honest-
believe you.
Whoa.
Having the top pair might make me more willing to check because
That was it. But I'm not.
it's not as urgent to win the hand, you know, just with a naked flush draw. So everyone's still in as we see a king roll off on the turn, and Quinn betting here with his gutter ball.
Yeah. Oh, and he only has 2% because Dave has the same draw.
Yeah.
Because then you could.
Honestly, you're supposed to roll first, regardless of what you have. But then it's like a friendly thing for me. It's like, okay, if you're like, oh, I was bluffing, then I'll show. But yeah, you have like a hand that you were betting.
Zach and Quinn still going over
Should show that hand.
the showing etiquette.
Or
Playing
you
the
could just
manners.
like try to hilariously do that to your friends, and that's also okay.
And Nathan's interesting. So Nathan chooses to call Sparks
and I
raise,
have a
which I
long
think is
chin
pretty
as
nice.
roll back.
Quinn, that's a pretty
Yeah, I've never
easy
really-
fold,
I
one would
seem
think.
to forget it when I have the
But it'll be
opportunity.
really
I don't
interesting to
think
see
I've
how
ever
this
done
river
it.
plays out here.
Now I'm kind of reminded I'll
Because,
really try to do it today.
of course, Nathan could call a non-heart river just with his top pair, decent kicker.
There it is.
And that was the river that he would have to call. Now, Sparks, again, kind of an interesting situation here, right? Because doesn't have a monster, but the only hand he beats is the hand like the kind of hand that Nathan has.
Ace, yeah.
And Nathan has a decision. Looks, yeah, he calls. Okay.
Nice hand.
I'll still tip you.
You have chips coming back.
Oh.
So he has.
Thanks, guys.
So it wasn't quite an all in. So he has chips coming back there. Interesting hand. I think pretty solidly played by Nathan there. Just
2,000?
but
Yeah, I
that key
think
decision
that's
was really on the flop where he had the
Right.
he flopped the world. He had the top pair and he had the nut flush draw, and
I think Chris is
go either way, right? You could bet to thin the field, or you could just check and because you're not too stressed about what's gonna come next. You
I
know,
like
in
500
that situation,
while
he
you got
already
it.
had the worst hand, and neither hand got better by the river.
In Sparks' position, I'm tempted to donk there to get a call from aces on that flop.
Quinn, we're dealing you in. Unless you don't want to be.
Oh, too late now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
And
Little reload action. This may spice up the game if a few people get deeper.
yeah, Nathan cutting out. Wow, nice looking stack of bills there.
Couple grand.
Yeah, he can get him.
Sparks once again with the mystery hand.
So
He's got the chips. I'll take the cash.
what's going on here? So it looks like Nathan limped and Sparks raised from the big blind. Okay. That's what happened. Nathan Limp Sparks raised from the big blind. We haven't seen Nathan Limp yet, I don't think. So,
Nope.
again, he just lost a big hand against Sparks, so it's going to be interesting to see how that affects this hand potentially.
Oh.
Got to
So I
sweat along
ordered
with
two of
Sparks,
your,
or sweat along with Nathan here, I should say.
Just arrived yesterday.
What shirts?
The one you're wearing
Sparks.
right now.
Queen,
Has
really
the ace
is.
queen and flops the queen. There we go.
5-year
Queen,
T.
Nathan with nothing.
No
Over
pair, no
and
You have
draw.
to fold queen 5.
I'm
I
just going to
folded
add to
myself.
the, you lose a big hand to
Oh, that would have
somebody,
been dirty, Chris.
and
That would have been dirty.
a small hand comes right after it. And you're like,
Yeah, they work.
I think that just compounds the frustration.
Yeah.
So we got to watch this.
Always.
So we
Watch
got to,
that
yeah,
duo.
watch that
5-year
dynamic.
T, Lululemon.
Absolutely.
$48, I think.
Get a 2-pack for 90.
So if you're just tuning in, this is TCH Live in Austin, Texas, with a bit of a twist. It's part of the Poker Unicorn series. We're watching investors and entrepreneurs square off across the poker table, and we're getting to listen in on some of the conversation. So occasionally we'll be a little bit quiet and
Carry on only.
hear what the players are talking about. I'm Alex Rosenberg, joined by
What were you
Kent
talking about, Quinn?
Beck on this Mother's Day.
Guess that'll be a mystery on the live.
That could be a.
Thank you for that reset, Alex.
You take a private phone call to the world.
Professionally radio.
Yeah.
Then a phone call.
Depending on the phone call.
And Zach is gonna
You're a large buyer.
raise with the fours. Quinn's gonna call on the button with the
There you go.
king, and Sparks pretty nice spot
I'm gonna
to
dump all my Nathan Lotka coins.
Time to squeeze.
yeah.
Alex is the
Oh,
good
Alex.
hand to call.
Yeah, I think people call too much with those pairs and weird situations. I mean, even if 7 flops, you're in such an awkward spot because you have to defer to the small blind.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and disagree with you on that one, but not that I shouldn't give you any tips. We will end up across the poker table.
Yeah.
At some point.
Depends how deep you are, of course. The Sparks flops top pair here. Zach and Quinn with a whole lot of nothing. Zach looking left, maybe thinking about doing something, choosing to fold and
Easy game.
outline the hand.
What'd you have? Thank you. For 200 is your flop.
Pocket kings.
All right, Alex. So the flop ace jack 3 and you're holding 4s.
Yes.
Well, then the ace came.
Do you ever feel bad? Do you ever think I'm off by 1? I realize
That's the pro tip.
that's
You
not a
want-
productive use of my mental faculties.
Yeah. If
No.
one, if
But
it's
if I'm
you're able to
frustrated,
not
I'm definitely
raise
going,
with the
God
king,
damn
you
it.
just wanna
Pair of aces beats a pair of kings.
Just one different, and I would have really had a hand.
Yeah.
An ace king for
No, I don't think I flop by myself.
All right, so I embarrassed myself in front
Yeah,
of
about,
you.
about the same.
Sorry.
All of our
Play-
fans,
play
200 of
differently,
them,
but-
more than 200 of them.
Kings
I'd,
are
I'd,
drawing
I'd,
hands.
I'd think of them in the same category of.
Those of you watching on the stream, it would help us if you clicked on that thumbs up button.
necessarily better.
Well,
If you
versus
feel like
queen
clicking,
money, like-
clicking on
Definitely
the
like ace king
thumbs
versus
down
queen.
button,
You run that a million times, queen wins more than ace king.
well,
The thing is, though, ace king.
we'd appreciate the feedback.
Cleveland, man.
It's a chop. It has to be
You
a
know,
chop.
because you're either going to hit your.
Angelo
king, or maybe
on
your
the
straight draw
on
or
the
your flush
chat
draw, or you
suggests that
won't.
he would be he would like to play on the
Jacks, if
stream.
you have a higher pair,
Well,
then
either that or he'd like to commentate. When he says these guys suck,
Oh,
not
it
sure
could
if he meant the
easily be
players
us.
or us.
You're
Yeah.
absolutely right.
It's a moneymaker. It's a moneymaker.
I've just had junk since then, like ace king and everything.
Thank you, Angelo. Could you be more specific, please? And if it's these guys, like, do you have a preference between Alex and I, or are we equally sucky? So just let us know there in the chat.
Zach being very active today. I mean, not surprised. It's an interesting dynamic, right? Because Zach really putting together this game here. So we don't want to just be a wallflower.
Quinn with the 9 deuce. There you go.
Yeah, 9 deuce not a great hand to have. Although you do block 7 deuce, which is nice. Zach.
That's important in this game.
You teaching that
Yeah,
slow roll?
Again, the 7 deuces on $25 for each person.
One
Zach is
A,
gonna
almonds, one
lead.
B, slow
The amazing thing is Quinn lost so little equity in the process of that flop, and yet he folded.
Interesting. Now, Alex is going to call with
whatever
the.
you're doing, it's working.
2 overs and a backdoor.
And Zach turning a flush draw. Choosing to check, and it's going check, check. Now the question is, can Alex win if it just goes check, check again? In Alex's mind, we know the answer, but does Alex think he can win by tapping the table? That's what Alex is trying to
Right. Or
figure out
does he
now.
have to turn his hand into a bluff? And if he does Zach come back over?
Yeah, I think that's the right call, using to bluff there.
Yeah.
And Zach thinking about it.
Pulled out ace high and low pairs.
Now he definitely doesn't want to call and get shown the better bluff. That's the most painful thing in poker, perhaps.
Correct.
But he's going to go over the top. Looks like yes. It's a very big raise.
And now Alex has nothing to do but fold unless Zach's he's not giving off much at all.
No.
He doesn't wiggle around. He doesn't.
Yeah. Nicely played hand by Zach, sniffing out that bluff there.
Yep.
Didn't really make. I mean, we I think that's a good bluff. But if you really piece it together, it's Alex kind of indicating he had a medium strength hand, and then choosing to bet the river. So either his hand got much better, or he chose it wasn't good enough to go to showdown with. So kind of a sensible place to bluff, I guess, from Zach's perspective.
Yep.
But I think they both played the hand pretty nicely.
When
I'm
we
born in like a month.
Really?
Yeah.
Strong play by Zach.
Like planes and not wear them. I mean, it's.
Yeah, not afraid to go for it at all.
Like you're drinking the whole flight.
how do you get away with it on the planes?
How do you
Give
do
us
that?
your strategy.
Usually I say, okay, sure, thanks. When they tell me to put it on.
All right, Quinn. Oh yeah.
I remember seeing this article and originally being
With
tricked
a
that this was
Quinn
a real
monster.
thing, but it was like some guy eats like slowly eats bag of Cheetos as protest.
Yeah, that's
Really?
interesting to think about.
But you're
Just to
allowed
go back to that
Really?
river decision from Alex's part.
Yeah.
It's like, what hands is really Zach check raising there? It's
Yeah.
it is a
What
little
happened to
suspicious,
the-
maybe.
The shot clock, it's like, yeah, take a sip.
Not that Alex has much to do with it, but
They like want you to put it back on when you're chewing.
I wonder if that's ever not a bluff.
What is it?
225 is it?
As Zach got 3 bets here
What
with
about
7 deuce, the 7
responsible
deuce game's on,
Cheeto eaters?
and Quinn is going to call with the
Cheetos
king
seems
9.
like the
Alex is
worst
going to
choice. I
fold.
mean, talk about the evidence
We're going
all
heads up.
over.
This could get very interesting. Zach
gotta go
obviously
with
needs to get Quinn to fold
Yeah, like, were you eating Cheetos, sir?
at some point in the hand,
No. I love Cheetos, but
unless the 7 or deuce flops and they don't. So
Freaking calories, I didn't realize. It's like,
yeah, don't look at that part.
yeah, Quinn's
I
kind of
started eating
peering at his
Cheetos in
cards.
pandemics, like, I highly recommend them.
Probably going to fold here.
He's
Yeah,
not
Zach's
thinking
gonna
about
win.
7
Yeah, I
deuce.
done had them
Gotta
here.
find out, baby.
Flaming hots every day at lunch.
Dude, they're.
Every day.
I had some Cheetos. Tell
I'll
my
give you
brother I
that.
had some
No
Cheetos
Cowboys.
in the pandemic. I'm like, dude, I think it's because
There-
there's not a lot of
there's a
other
little chirping.
stimulation pandemic. I'm just at home, but the Cheetos
Now all the
are
kings are
through
available.
the roof. But there's a lot of evidence that you've eaten Cheetos. You know,
Yeah.
Someone's talking about Cheetos for some reason.
Maybe a
It's a good
shower.
way to make friends, you know.
You need a shower. nearby.
Probably a poetic metaphor.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, we got a rattle here.
Oh, damn it.
That was brave.
Oh, well
That was a
done,
brave
well done.
3-bet there.
Thanks.
Yeah, and interesting conversation in the chat about whether Alex would call with most pairs. I mean, I guess I would. So just to remind people the action in that last hand. Basically, it went
You tossed me the 25?
Zach.
I believe you.
Zach opened. Alex called. Zach bet the flop. Alex called. Check check. On the turn, Zach checked the river. Alex bet, and then Zach went over the top.
That old Zen saying,
Final board reading 8-4,
bigger pot,
8-5-4,
sting more
3.
would lose.
The 3 bringing a second club, and then a 10. So not a super coordinated board.
Scholar back in the day, right?
Great could have been made on the turn. No flush is possible.
Yeah, big pot bet.
And the
hand
question is,
makes
what does
sense.
Zach have if when he check raises? I think it's a really interesting conversation to have. Is that what Zach has and what Alex has? Now it turns out they were both bluffing.
Right.
Zach just put in the last bluff, but
It must have been your writings I read when I was learning poker.
Yeah, does Zach do that? So the kind of the story, if somebody wakes up, I think one of the possibilities is that the card it really helped
Read the
them.
original
So
text and just copied it.
if Zach had ace 10 there, he might do that. Although it's pretty strong for.
Me.
Yeah.
it is pretty strong. I mean, but again, wouldn't he just bet straight out rather than
Good hand.
going for the sneaky check raise?
Yes.
Especially because the 10 didn't really bring in any draws. I mean,
Right.
okay, pocket tens perhaps, but then is he really betting the flop there? I don't know that there are a lot of hands that make a lot of sense for Zach on the value side.
Yeah.
Really, it's an interesting spot.
But then I do love catching a bluff with king high,
You can hear this.
but it is pretty over the above the rim.
Make it worse straight than the other people. With the low
Yeah, I mean,
I to laugh when he rewatched it.
one thing that Zach might say is that Alex was extraordinarily likely to have a bluff there, so that it didn't really, at that point, obviously Zach's
a lot of potential to connect.
story becomes a little bit irrelevant. If you thought
So you
Alex
really
was
wanna have
bluff.
his-
And as we talked about before Zach put in the bet, he didn't even have enough hand to bluff catch because he could run into a better hand that was even just bluffing.
I don't know, man. Quinn's crazy enough that he.
And Zach's that kind of player.
You
He'll,
definitely have the
he'll
ace king suited.
play it like to play a
I just got it,
psychological
I
game
just
there.
got it.
As Nathan puts in the 3-bet with 7 deuce against the nines. Quinn flats and it's going to come back around to Dave. Now again, when the 7 deuce game is on, this shows why you should be a little more liberal with 4 betting. Because you could always be against 7
Yeah.
deuce.
How's it sound?
And you can get it to fold.
Sometimes I'll take you guys out by folding an ace king suited and not saying.
When they can't predict you, they stop trying
Right.
to predict you.
That might slow Nathan down because he thinks he could run into enough equity to. Oh wow! Okay. All right.
Good for you, Quinn.
Not
Can't
afraid to
win by
fire.
folding.
Not afraid to fire, and Dave is gonna call Nathan. Yeah, Nathan's gonna just call here. Right there you go.
This is going to turn into a real pot, and nobody really has a hand.
Quinn's
Nine's
checking.
still
Dave's
good.
checking. Now I think Nathan really should consider betting here.
Big. Yeah.
Given the bet call check, you're not likely to have the best hand, and you're probably gonna have to fire twice to get them to fold. And I might have gone a little bigger there. That looked like it was only $150.
Oh, yeah.
Unless, I mean, maybe he's just methodically setting up a story for the river. I had ace queen, something like that, and I called the flop with overs, and then I got there, but I didn't want you guys to fold. Is sort of the story he's telling, perhaps.
Well, this puts Dave in a little tough spot. All right.
Wow, everybody wants a piece of this one.
Nobody believes anybody.
King is kind of a good hand for that kind of story that Nathan was looking to tell, right? Because that overpair could have been, those overcards could have been king, queen. Quinn Rivers, the straight draw.
Yeah, I'm just.
Is your Pikachu in play?
You have to win. It would not be in play. Not be in play. Yeah, there's
And
a
now
minimum
Nathan,
pot size.
Nathan, you got to go for it, baby.
Bomb it.
You got to go for it, baby.
Just bomb it.
It adds an interesting dynamic. There's a couple
Oh, I
guys
like
who are
800,
very
850 here.
Oh, I bet.
It's like- it's like-
I think he just shoved the whole thing in. Oh,
No, you if you're gonna start with the 7 deuce, you have to commit all the way.
It's more just to like you have a totem to remind
Yeah.
you of getting stuff.
And Quinn, after getting called out for accidentally slow rolling, is showing hands.
Showing
left and right here.
everything, left and right.
You guys are all laughing right now, aren't you? I should have bet on that. I know.
What was he saying?
At least Nathan feels bad about it. That's good.
No.
That's a good
So-
river to bluff.
Again, a lot of entrepreneurs and investors here. Nathan with the company Founder Path,
some
which
reason,
turns
it
monthly
felt
recurring
like
revenue into
waiting for
upfront
that.
cash, and he's
I
also
was trying to give you that impression.
an author. He wrote How to Be a Capitalist Without Any Capital.
Your Chris lessons are paying
Does a
off.
podcast called SaaS Interviews with CEOs, startups, founders. I think he should have called it Hot SaaS, but that's just me.
You're probably sticking around on nines, even though.
Probably 10 podcasts already called
With
Hot
Nathan
SaaS.
behind,
though,
that's
so,
a tough call for Dave.
Yeah, probably.
Fold, fold. 35. Call 35.
Sparks and Quinn with the same hand and the same colors. Red ace, black 10.
Stylishly noted, Alex.
Yeah, we might try to do it earlier.
And
I've
Dave,
handled all
interesting,
today,
kind of stuck
so
in the middle here.
I'm partial.
With
I'll
a,
keep the game going for a little
a
bit
hand
after
he
stream and then go
could
to
have called with.
Yeah.
Especially when we know how much Quinn likes to fly. It's not like if the situation was reversed, if Chris was last to act, I'd be much more willing to just fold.
Yeah. Because you're not going to get squeezed.
Or four bet, yeah,
Or
because you're not
you're
not
more
just
likely
gonna
to get
a flop.
squeezed with the sparks in there. Yeah.
Exactly, and then love these hands. Where they both have the same hand here, and 4-3-3 is a flop. Not very helpful for anyone. Probably more in Quinn's area code, I would think.
How are the comments, Nathan?
Word coverage.
Do they like what they're
Word
saying?
coverage sounds so much better than
Who
wild.
is fish? And they said Quinn is fish. I think I'm a bigger fish than Quinn.
75.
Yeah, but you haven't lost.
All right.
Not yet.
Sparks calling again.
Sparks is calling it down here.
Well, the bets are so small.
Yeah,
So
and
we're all going to Mexico together for a week on Friday.
looks like Quinn is.
And there's 2 other poker players coming,
I don't know.
so we'll have some
Come on,
fun.
Wow,
bomb it.
all right.
Games.
Bomb it. Yeah, he's calling down.
Really
Chop it
nicely
up.
done by Sparks. He's just going to chop the pot, but
Ace high.
He clearly
Another
had
ace 10
a
chop.
read on the
Just like
situation.
last stream.
See,
Yeah, the ace 10 off was our hand of the stream the last time we broadcasted.
yeah.
So Quinn, I'm educating a little bit. The problem with your bet there is you're only folding out hands that you already beat.
right.
Or ace 10 if he can get
Because
it
it
to
wasn't
lay
high.
down.
Doing a little strategy talk. Someone's going to get out the whiteboard
It's
soon
not
and
the size, it's that any hand that
do a
has
SWOT
a
analysis of his turn play.
No, that's,
hand that
yeah.
has worse is gonna fold.
So,
Maybe what you might call ace 9, ace 8.
I'm with you, Kent.
no, just
I might
don't
call
talk
ace 9.
strategy
I
at
might
the
call
time.
You might,
Yeah,
might fold
yeah.
ace 10 there, get off the top.
Like, I was playing yesterday at Lucky Chances, my local card room, and listened to a long lecture
Any kind of raising, I was good.
by the pro
Generally,
to the
when you're betting, you
whale,
want me to
and I was just
call
thinking,
with worse
why
hands or fold back.
you're just doing this because you feel bad because he just took a bunch of your money.
Yeah.
'Cause
You
should
know,
check back
deal
and
with
see
your own
where-
crap.
And fold. Okay.
Yeah.
Why in the world would you want bad players to be better?
Tip.
Makes no sense.
Although,
But I
You
want
know,
to present some strength.
I don't know that it makes
Zach,
bad
how long
players
do we
better
go for?
necessarily. I think
We go for
it's,
another hour or so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's the
least on
kind of
stream.
strategy
Okay.
talk I like is
We gotta
is
get. Let's
wrong.
do some lot and thinks, okay?
You explain strategy
Lot and
wrong.
thinks, yeah.
A lot of things, okay? Sure.
Like a heart hasn't come on the river for
Great.
4
okay.
hands.
Quinn's lot in. So what
So
what
you
question were gonna
needed
ask
to
him?
call there because it was bound to hit the river, and then you would have had a flush. That's good strategy.
And then you guys sound like virgins.
the
So it has
reminiscent of the
something
Steve Martin joke
quantitative.
that if you want to play a
Streamers?
good prank on your kids, teach them to talk wrong.
Absolutely. Give them the wrong words for everything.
In all seriousness, the best I think the best as a pro you can do is give people strategy heuristics that are very easy for them to learn, because then you're going to know what's going on when they have I see that all the time. I see, you know, you just tell people, oh, you have you know, you have a high pocket pair, so you should raise really big.
No. Think of the number for what the price of Dogecoin will be at the end of the year.
End of this year.
Looks like they're trying to put together the Dogecoin prop bet here.
Yeah, you're the thinker. You're the thinker. Let us know when you got it.
Oh, this is Laden Thinks.
Yeah.
You're right.
I mean,
I'll go in, but
Do you think our
Let's do
erudite
quarters
viewers
size.
will know what Loudon thinks?
I think so, but
How that works?
just
And then we
if,
basically
if they don't, you ask one person what they
Whoever
think, and then
makes
the
the
other
line is,
people bet on what the
you got the
person
number?
thinks about the factual thing, not necessarily what the
Price
factual
of
thing is.
Dogecoin end of this year.
Oh, okay.
About
So you're not trying to
6.5
predict the
months from now.
price of Dogecoin. You're trying to predict someone's prediction.
we could
of
check
the price
that.
of Doge.
It was 50 when I went to sleep.
I think it
watching
dumped a little
SNL.
on the Elon.
It dumped a
didn't it?
lot.
A lot, like, yeah.
But now it's back to, I mean, it's still this fucking multi-billion-dollar Ponzi scheme.
And
so it's
another hand
crazy
between
high.
Quinn and Sparks, another
It's,
hand in which no one really has
Investment.
anything.
Just, I prayed for the flush.
It's 57 cents now. Quinn, let us know when you got the number.
I love that quick call from Quinn with the better hand there. Really nice.
Now,
And,
is that a tell to you, that quick call?
I mean, I would think it would be a tell that he had an ace or a 10, but it turned out he had a king high. So this is where you get into trouble trying to get tells from players like Quinn. And let's see
Is
here.
Sparks gonna pull the trigger? Yeah.
I think so why not? Why not? Yeah, and Quinn's gonna. He's not good about it.
What's he doing this with? Oh no, and he picks it up king high. Oh,
Smoked
Sparks
student becomes the teacher.
now, okay. Have you ever seen that one
Sure,
where
tip chips I could buy from you?
somebody folds their bluff
hand.
and then the other player shows a worse hand?
King high.
Yes.
You're gonna have to do.
Oh, that's a beautiful one.
I love that. Hold
Next
on,
level.
I folded. No, doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. It's in the muck.
We were both checking, none of us had anything, then you try and buy the pot at the end. And my king would win if we got there.
Quinn, you want to buy 10 bucks of tip chips?
Nailed it.
Want to buy 10 bucks?
I used to play in a home game. I guess it was an underground game, not technically a home game, where the guy who ran the game would encourage people not to show if the other person mucked, just to avoid those kinds of fights.
Oh,
We don't have the
but I
Dogecoin
love
question,
those.
guys.
Okay,
Let's do it.
I got
Well,
just in
in
a-
a casino setting, it's one thing,
So
but
the best way I like to do this game,
in
it's little more
in someone's
complicated, but we basically
house,
just,
it's
compete.
That's true.
Be substantially
We can
different.
make the line.
Sparks
the
here
prof-
with the
So I
professional
set the line at
securities.
1.4 to 1.
Sparks with the monster.
Sparks with the monster
you
and
wanna-
raises
you wanna agree with me?
big 3-bet.
What's the line?
I was gonna say I will set the line at 1.
Might work out here.
I'll set a line at 1.4.
Although Quinn-
so you could
Not
come in
against
lower
Quinn.
than me and set-
Quinn, his nemesis,
Okay.
Yeah, the line stuff confuses me. So you can
his nemesis.
Nathan, you in on this?
No, I have no idea what's going on. I'm talking to the streamers.
Nathan doesn't know what's going on either.
Dave, you want
And,
this Loudon
I
thing?
mean, I don't understand why there's a
Quinn
line.
is gonna
You
call.
can't bluff somebody who
So
won't
I'm gonna set a
fold.
line, and then you're just gonna go above or below.
Words
It's not
to
fair
live
if
by.
If we just all pick a number, there's like
I know it's so funny. We just saw Sparks try to bluff Quinn
it's a
and
huge advantage.
fail, and
Oh yeah.
here
I
we
thought
go
were
again.
gonna be, like
So
writing down our guess or something.
oh,
And there we go. It's gonna work. Sparks is gonna show it.
nice.
Nice.
There you go.
Well, I'm gonna set a line at 1.4 to 1. So that means like if you want to set a line and we'll do it cheaper.
I don't understand how the line's gonna work in the series of the guesses.
I'm gonna set a line, and then you're just gonna go say above or below.
Yeah, and then ultimately we're still guessing the Dogecoin
Exactly.
price he thinks.
Yeah, you're thinking is his price lower or higher than what I say?
He sets a line, I've chosen a number.
Don't forget to do the hokey pokey and turn yourself around.
I thought we were
Actually,
And you're
putting out a
poker
guess.
players
Do
love
you want
complicated
100 bid
rules.
1.4, and you set the line.
1.4 what?
So that means like
It's interesting here. Sparks is the only one
$100 bet.
straddling
If they
regularly.
guess the other
Yep.
way with me, I get 100.
That's interesting. I mean, Sparks
But
is
if they get
a
the
very
right
sharp
one, then
player,
I
and
get 100.
Okay.
he's doing it for a reason. Obviously, probably wants to get the game to be a little,
Can I buy
little
some?
bigger. I'm thinking, but
Yeah, yeah.
No.
Check it. It should be
well,
like
although
a stack.
recall that he's in the straddle against Quinn's big blind, so he's probably going to want to be involved more times than not.
so
So you might
the-
as well just
The
straddle
line
anyway.
for the Dogecoin price,
Probably the thought process there. If he was in another position, probably wouldn't be doing it.
$1.04.
I'll take the under.
Quinn plays a suited king.
$1.04 is the line they're talking about for Dogecoin price.
So there you have it.
You need to apologize to yourself. You just gave me some information.
Viewers, go ahead. Place your bets based on that.
That's gonna be 1.5.
This is not securities advice.
What's the size of the bet?
It's
Spoken
25
like a
to 1, so,
professional, Alex.
1.4 to 1 is 40 something.
Okay, my 40 to your 25.
Why 1.4?
Let me amend that to viewers.
I've been-
Use
little-
this information
little
with caution.
1.4. Fine, 40,
Speak to your
25.
financial advisor
And
before
I'll scale it up.
acting on the
Yeah, yeah.
lot
I
of thanks
believe you.
bets.
Dave, are you gonna
Past
take
results
under
are
about
no
$1,
guarantee of
$1.40?
future returns.
What Quinn thinks Dow Jones price will be in January.
Yeah.
I think he thinks it'll be under that.
Yeah. So they're
Yeah.
again they're betting on what Quinn thinks the Dogecoin price will be in January. Dogecoin is right now
Right, I had 2 cents.
56 cents. And
Wow, I really.
Cleveland, baby.
I was ready to go under on like a quarter.
Yeah, me too, man. I thought that was an easy under.
I mean, over the dollar is tough. Like
Quinn-
99 cents.
$100
I can see
billion
$1.04.
Quinn's a professional shitcoin trader. I mean,
Putting that on live stream.
Bleep that, bleep that, bleep that.
I had a client pay in Dogecoin just recently, and my partner wanted to trade it, so I wanted to get rid of it. He's like, no, let's not get rid of all of it. So we were like, okay, we'll sell a tenth each day, and it just keeps, it doesn't go away.
It does not go away. That is correct. It does not go away.
interesting.
it's
man.
great running, turning your
This is a very
9-4
interesting conversation.
playing the
into,
two
like, a
quad
little
draws.
crypto hedge fund.
Yeah,
I can relate with easy point. Get paid a
dollar.
Okay, we'll sell some.
And
Yeah.
Sparks flopping top pair.
Well, good
Interesting
luck with the
conversation
business
about,
act now that you just put out on stream.
Quinn
You
with
got,
his,
like, Dogecoin
with
will be
his,
$1.
No, I thought
Shutter.
that Quinn would think it'd be.
That's
a
what I mean,
dollar.
yeah.
Well,
No, I'm not saying you thought it, but you thought he thought that.
You thought that.
his
Someone as
equity is sticking in
smart,
there.
well-versed,
Yeah.
technically proficient as Quinn.
It's not a question of fundamental
All
value.
right, I'm cheering for a miracle.
Agreed.
That was not the miracle.
No miracle.
But Quinn is he has the courage of his convictions.
And I think
Could
Sparks
this
is gonna
work?
call. I don't
Do you
think
have
so.
anything that
I don't think so either, but it would be beautiful if it did.
Obviously,
It's his favorite card.
right now.
A Quinn
Flush
hand
is
is-
possible here. And
Quinn's
talking
looking-
about how
Quinn
much-
hand's looking decent.
He's
Oh,
always got a queen.
beautiful.
and they're talking about how many
Now
queens.
show. Now show. Okay,
They're
that's
talking about how many
the
queens
show.
Quinn has was factored into his thinking there. Quinn
Yeah.
playing almost every queen.
I had no idea what you had. I just thought.
So
you were
so if
following
I
me.
was Quinn, that's the
I
cards
think
I would show.
You folded king? Wow.
on that spade plus?
Yeah, because that would just tilt the
Quinn likes
crap out of
queens.
Sparks.
I do.
Love him.
Queen's like him.
Queens. Ladies love
Kind of going over the hand here
Yeah, man.
at the table.
I
As,
think Sparks is beginning to get the
Oh, boy.
They know what they're getting into. with this guy. There's no surprises.
Abby was complaining that when we were talking about.
Quinn with the
We were
Brunson.
talking about that last time.
Oh.
The announcers were talking over.
Easy
us.
call. Sparks is going to call too.
Abby, you can hear all the glory now. Don't
It's
worry.
going to be a pretty good game here.
Yeah, loosening up.
Someone watching.
Chips are flying around. Ugh.
All right. All Quinn needs is a deuce.
Did you see what I had, or are you just betting?
Well, I see what you have every time.
I'll raise them. 75 more.
Discussing what we were discussing, whether Zach can see Quinn's hands.
So you did see.
Zach showing the proper etiquette, saying that he saw the hand, although it's not clear that he's telling the truth.
Makes the bluffs easier.
You see what I had? I check.
Raise.
Zach,
I don't really
Zach's
like
not
to fold
gonna-
against you, so
just yet.
Here, Zach's just going to call.
good for that.
Quinn has a
that
bunch
bet,
of
at
chop
least.
outs. There's not one of them. There's not one of them. And going to continue
I
betting.
call.
Pretty easy call for $75 on
Yeah.
the river.
That's just not enough.
10. Well, I think it was a value bet, so.
Yeah.
9 plays.
And it worked as a.
I like the slow roll sigh. Nice job, Zach.
All I have is the.
Zach is still
I have
stung by
to
that slow roll, the accidental slow roll by Quinn.
That's what you
That's how
got for
it's done.
slowing me before, baby.
It's a good thing you guys like each other.
Yeah, that one really hurt. That's the
Now, you've
So
played
anyone
more with
listening, if
Zach
you
than I
can't
have,
handle getting
right?
slow rolled, this is probably
Yeah.
not the game for you.
Now you're game.
Is he somebody to hold a grudge over something like that?
I still
don't
like.
think so.
I've probably watched that clip of Mattisau getting
I don't
slow
think
rolled by Deeb like over 100 times. Gives me so much joy.
I think he, yeah, I think he actually enjoys the,
No, it's
the friendly slow roll.
So, it's basically when you.
There
there's
is definitely an
variations
art
of it,
to
but, like,
a slow roll.
The most egregious, hilarious ones are when
The
like someone.
people you just
someone bets
shouldn't
into
ever
you and
do
you
it
have, like,
to.
the absolute
This is
nuts.
wrong. It's
And you,
morally
like,
wrong.
take
And
a
then there are
wild call.
people
They go all in, and you're like,
who deserve it every single time. And then there's the marginal ones,
What's the point of it?
where
fuck with
really
them.
circumstance
It's for them to
dictates
think that
whether
they
they
might have
deserve a
won
slow
for a
roll or
little
not.
You're here to wreck lives.
Raise 200.
I'm not a big fan person.
It's rough for me because I don't necessarily.
I just don't like it when it slows down the game. I think as a prank, it
Aw.
can be kind of funny.
Poor
but,
Quinn over here.
Alex
Alex with the
Then
Kings
while he's
again
stacking your
against
chips, he'll go,
Sparks.
Could any of a hand
Sparks
have beaten
picked
that?
the wrong hand for 3-bet.
Someone pointing out that Brunson probably wouldn't
I
play
know, I
10
gotta
deuce
start
like
asking
that.
people that.
I think that's an interesting point.
Nice comment.
Yeah, Alex is going to make the 4-bet.
4-bet.
Dave's going to fold, and Sparks is probably going to fold as well. He's going to win with the Kings.
Got the
Nice result with Kings there, to be honest.
pink
I mean,
chip out there.
Yeah.
nothing wrong with winning pre-flop.
Big boy.
Wow.
Over
This
7
is
that would have been pretty
first moment of silence from the table in
That's-
2.5 hours.
That
was
is-
a good spot.
That's stream worthy for sure.
Okay, and we're back.
Chip out there and turn 7 deuce, like yes. That's stream worthy.
So a lot going on
When
here.
was
This
the
is
last
a
time
5-10
you've done
game.
one of your,
7 deuces on,
your
and
Shark Tank selling,
a lot of fun
some
being
fast
had at the
business?
table.
Oh gosh, that was
A
probably
lot of side bets, a lot of
3 months ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
a little bit of Laden thinks,
Any more?
a lot of Quinn
more
playing
There's
queen
certain
trash,
checks, you gotta
and
get 3 investors willing
there we
to
go.
pay checks live. You
Yeah.
gotta
It's
get a
30
company willing to
bucks,
share their
okay.
P&L live.
Sparks with another.
Debate live, and then
and
do it all in
a lot of
under
history
hour.
cropping
Does
up
every
between
time is
Sparks
there a
and Quinn.
sale?
Sparks 3-betting for
We
value
did
here
about
against
20
Quinn.
episodes. There was about 11 offers, and like 4 actually closed.
Okay.
I would say
Company live. It
isolation.
was fun.
Sure.
How much?
You know, you're right. He's going to call with worse
I
hands.
know. I make sure they don't know each other.
He is a
Nothing
value.
behind the scenes.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I'm sure Shark Tank has a ton of behind the scenes shit where they know.
for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
Shark Tank deals like they rarely close after the fact.
Really? Most of the time when they do the offer, it just did.
Yeah,
Boom.
sort of education.
Talking a little bit about Shark
Wow.
Tank here.
I don't know what the numbers are. I'm sure someone's looked that up though.
Yeah.
120.
It's kind of like poker, having to make these decisions, live with perfect information.
Nice hand.
Oh yeah, perfect information.
Another Quinn hand.
Improv.
Quinn high.
You
Yeah.
get. Every other hand, you get a queen.
Quinn high. Quinn wins with the.
Because you put in 500.
We know how scared Sparks is of the queen flopping, and that time he was right.
Business with a fun.
At that point, it's not scared anymore. It's
Under 500.
evaluating your
From the beginning, I've
equity
been lucky to
Sure.
have
against his range. And since all of the queens are in his range,
Here's my last name, Cameron Resnick, who.
there's not a
Very
lot
good.
else you can actually
working
beat.
with.
Zen saying at work.
So yeah, definitely always.
Handles all of it.
Well, yeah. I mean, my role there.
$35
The
for
vast
Quinn.
majority of
Did he look at his cards?
pretty much all of our clients are either people
Didn't
that like
see it.
I meet throughout my life, and then people that those people have referred.
And that's a boss move,
Uh,
playing without looking.
And the way that makes money is you're just taking a spread of flights that you book.
So the way to think about it
Quinn's
is,
dominated,
let's say
but
you want to fly business from Austin to Switzerland. for
Zach's talking about his
a trip that
Easy
I-
Point Travel Points
a trip
business.
that I
They
booked. So if you look at
specialize
the
in
retail prices
booking,
for that, they're actually pretty depressed right now.
first class
and everything,
flights
but you're
for
looking at
cheaper.
somewhere between like
uh,
35 and like 6K round trip. But for some of those flights,
Quinn's going to bet. Alex is going to call
there's
with
going to be
the
like a way to
bet or
play with
nothing.
miles and points that you can't necessarily unlock yourself if you don't
They
have
both
the
have
exact
backdoor
right point of
flushes,
mileage
flush
for
draws, I
you.
guess,
So
and
what we do is we'll take a 5K flight and then maybe buy it with 100,000 miles that's like a very good deal. Or like let's even 200,000 miles. So then we're getting 2.5 cents per point on that. So what we would do is basically like 2.5 would be like the retail equivalent. We might buy it for like 1.5 cents,
And it's
then
gonna
we'll
work.
effectively give it to the client.
As Alex
for, like,
folds here.
You know, 1.8
Gets
cents
the
per point.
bluff
Nice,
through.
So on a 3K, let's say you get a 6K flight with points, 200,000 points. How much money will your business make versus what you save the booker?
So
they're
our
talking about
average margin,
how the business works.
historically is closer to like 35%.
Okay.
But that's because, you know, I've grown the business largely just serving friends and stuff. It's not like a little bit of an
Hey
ideal
guys,
client or
welcome
whatever.
back to Easy Points with Zach.
35%, where the client would say something.
You gotta read that podcasting voice.
And
No, I'm saying Easy Points
Okay, we're
margin is
back.
going to be about 35%.
Of what though? The ticket price? Or
someone picking up on the Zach pitch, giving him a little bit of a needle as he's
No,
talking about his
our
Easy
margin
Point
I'm thinking
business
about in terms of
with
what our costs are.
Nathan.
So like if our costs on the points are, let's say, $1,000.
Zach's thinking,
on average,
I could play the
you know,
6-5, or I
we're
could keep talking about Easy Point.
Browns if they
for
talk
that.
about margins.
So definitely our client.
Yeah, the
our clients
EV
are going to get the bulk of the
definitely
savings
higher.
relative to like what Easy Point is.
Selling the company.
Yeah.
For last minute flights is where it really shines. And yeah.
That makes a lot of sense.
Man,
That business should be picking up here shortly.
Yeah, we're starting to see that, and we're launching a
Is
new product
Baker
soon.
Mayfield
Fly Flat
the
Vacations.
best
So
quarterback in the NFL right now?
Vacations.
Yeah, if someone's talking about their business, I think they need. It's a bit of a tell if they raise. You know, they have more premium
on top,
hands.
so just like the full, instead of just
Right,
me
'cause it would
doing our main
otherwise
product where we just
uh,
are booking people flights, just
just
a full
fold it
vacation
going.
package for the luxury traveler.
Nathan is a big loser for the session.
Within that package is the flight,
Playing
the
so
hotel,
tight.
and then off
Yes.
transport and other extras as well. Because there's tons of travel packages out there, but there's no real travel package that like focuses on like.
Yeah, I would have liked to see him go for that. Getting back to that 7-deuce hand.
I don't think a lot
Would have
of
liked
people
to see him go for it in the river.
Yep.
Would have prevailed. Obviously, he didn't know what the other guys had, but
Well, I do-
You're
would have prevailed. And now Quinn.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, it looks like Quinn with a click back raise here with the
Long line of overhype.
with the 7-deuce.
Which is not going to work against
You're
Nathan.
more of a Bernie Kosar
Shouldn't.
guy at this point.
Oof.
Yeah.
There it
well,
is.
I respect that.
Is Nathan just
Chris,
going
I saw
to
this
play this slow and let Quinn
driving
bet?
around yesterday.
And
think
then
that's
raise
pretty
the
good.
river?
You get
I think
twice
this is
the
a pretty good
space.
strategy. Now we see Nathan raise a lot of flops. This is a
It was
good
like
time to
the,
call. This is a good time to
leadership,
call.
like,
You're
it was an
obviously blocking
advertisement for
kings and
people in Austin and
queens,
to Ohio.
and Quinn not afraid to bet with whatever he has. And the fact that the 7-deuce is on is another reason to just keep calling.
Well, listen,
Nathan thinking about it, studying the board here.
Come to Cleveland.
Doesn't want to get outdrawn.
Our operations manager also went
Quinn
to
with
take
lots of
advantage
queens.
that.
He's going to keep
Jack
betting.
is from there. Jack is getting married now, so
Come to Cleveland. dude.
they're
You have a
we're-
25%.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Unvetted
Nice
Enterprises
call,
also
Nathan.
comes
As
Reel
we
him
head
in.
off to a turn.
strongly considering, operations there and growing things there.
You know, and in the winter, you come down to Austin a little bit, or
So he
you go down to
locks up the
Florida,
hand
you
here.
know.
He's got Quinn in prison, and Quinn bets $300. Again, I think
No, it's just
easy
a
for
call.
us. We see the hands, but I think you really want to keep calling
Are
here.
you firmly
Because,
in Cleveland, or is there something that would take you?
I mean, I
Yeah.
really think it's underrated. I really like
If
that. I mean,
Quinn
it's different
checks
for me
the
'cause I'm
river,
from there, and of course, like
then you bet.
Yeah.
my friends in my sort of community are there.
Yeah.
So what?
Now
Yeah,
we got the Pantene
It
Pro
would have
V
to have a very
towel
compelling
over here
reason to
from
leave, and
Quinn.
it would have to be more than just like weather, especially with the Browns.
Now that one looked more like
things like
a
Wow.
all in.
Nathan jams, and obviously Quinn only has one decision here. I mean, that's the problem, right?
When was the last time?
Because you're shallow, right? If you're deep,
5
it's a different story. Maybe you get Quinn to somehow go over the top. Looks like Quinn. What's going on here?
Quinn's thinking.
Yeah, and Nathan could have
I thought you have to go.
squeezed
all in
out that
when
last
you do seven.
$920, I think.
I had a strong hand. You can see in about 15 minutes.
Even had a D7. Something tells me.
you can see in 15 minutes. That's-
Man, D7
But it didn't matter
burns.
what you would have beat me with any hand.
Dude, if you had 6 high there, I'm gonna
It
love
really
that
does
one.
change your
love
feeling
locking
about
that
the
in.
hand when you can see the card.
Kind of sold out the D7.
Yes, but
'Cause
it
I
also
just-
Yeah.
I did not.
Yeah,
I did
so
not have.
good.
I did not have
I just want to tell Nathan, just check. He's gonna ship the river, and you'll be fine.
No, I said I did not have him on.
Right. Whereas,
where you get the
whereas if
Oh yeah.
But it really depends
Going all in if you had.
on what he's got. So
yeah, I mean Quinn could have had a combo draw, and
You know, you gotta get after it with that D7.
we would have liked to
Yeah.
see him fold.
let him get.
Hungry.
Yeah, sushi maybe more like 5. 5-ish.
That's cool.
Yeah, I mean, I gotta leave around that time anyway.
Planning a little bit
You're
of
not joining for
sushi.
the.
I don't think so. I've got something at 6 that I have to be downtown for.
Document management related things.
No comment. Not work. For fun.
You don't do document management for fun?
I don't know what
And
you're talking about.
All right, Quinn with the only flush draw.
Oh,
And
a bunch of us
Alex with the only
Fair.
top pair.
They don't choose what conversation to go. We all just sound like.
Oh, it
bottling
sounds like
online.
a noise.
Yeah.
Okay.
We've been
Is
doing
that
that a
true?
lot.
Shredding.
I mean, they're
I love
not
paper.
throttling.
What's
it all.
wrong with paper?
But I
So I
also
thought-
think, I mean, I've seen poker games where it's like people are like, you can hear multiple conversations. Like, it's
Yeah.
not ideal.
But
but
are they
always.
saying they can't really hear multiple?
Yeah. Hey, trying to learn this. Figure out how to listen to 10 conversations at once, all right?
So let's see.
YouTube user trying to learn this.
Alex
I want to know who was
calling
sure
Quinn's
Mark
bet is
Oh,
Mayfield.
Quinn gets there on the river with the rivered 8 and jams, and Alex.
oh, the good. He's accidentally making an excellent play because Alex has the perfect bluff catching hand.
It's really nice, and I
He
mean I gotta
pushes-
say Quinn does seem to have good horse sense about when to show aggression and,
Yep.
and when not to, and he picked a good time for it. He looks pretty. He actually looks kind of nervous, which is good. You know, it's working out for him. You can see the bare chest moving a little bit.
I was trying not to look at that. Ugh. Picks up the phone. All right, now he's looking a little too comfortable.
And there's the
Pantene
Pantene
move.
Pro V.
Now, so last time he did this, he was weak.
He's balancing his hair tells, which is important. And it's going to show him the
Balanced
bad
hair
news.
stroke. Oh, Alex will be a little steamy now.
And
Good hand, Quinn.
Mm.
you're getting the hang of the slow roll thing.
Mighty Quinn.
Oh, sorry.
Well played, Quinn.
Stacks the big stack now. A little over 4K.
Because of why?
He's played. It hasn't been a lot of drama, but he's played well.
Nice hand, Quinn.
I appreciate it.
Nice hand.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Nice hand.
So we've gotten to hear some interesting conversation again. A lot of entrepreneurs and
You good for one more payoff while
and
we're
it-
still on stream?
investor
You
types.
good for one more payoff while we're still on stream?
Dak, who you're hearing, runs hedge fund Unbounded Capital and also a company called Easy Point. Next to him is Quinn, who works in renewable energy infrastructure and as well as in crypto. Then we got Chris Sparks, founder of the Forcing Function, executive trainer, and also
Nice.
a poker professional. Meanwhile, we also have Alex.
Ooh.
We saw in that last hand Alex Hardy,
And the ether
startup founder
forever.
and startup investor,
Always.
and as well as Nathan Lotka, who runs Founder Path, a fund that turns monthly recurring revenues into upfront cash for SaaS companies. And
Alex, I hope we have a lot of fun now. I just want to set the intention.
I mean,
those are the SaaS interviews with CEOs, startups, founders podcast. As we get in with, as we're seeing a flop with two hands with diamonds, one diamond flops.
Is it wrong of me to want this to run out diamond?
Oh no.
With flop 2 pair.
No, I had deuce 6, and I was like, that's arguably not the worst hand of the game. So I thought about going on it.
Well, you would have flopped a straight draw. Seems like you made a mistake.
More brilliant strategy advice.
Dominating.
It's not the worst hand of the game. I know, so what I was trying to
All right,
do
Poker
was-
Unicorns fam. If you ever get advice like this at the table, it is
So
bullshit.
Quinn,
Deuce 8's the worst.
Deuce 8 is the worst, right? So
I don't believe that. I think it's fake news.
You can make a straight with 2-6.
Straights are overrated.
Yeah.
You're gonna made a lot of dominated straights, you know.
Watch when that 8 comes. You got to do safe.
Quinn, if you're ever
Jack's
in
not a
doubt,
fan of straights.
just think to yourself, I got to balance my range. Let's do it.
So I don't know what range is, but if I'm ever in doubt,
And then when someone asks you why,
thing.
you're saying to balance
I
your
love it.
to balance my range.
Yes. Important
Anything
words.
you can do be justified with some balance. So that's the perfect thing.
What do you have as my range?
I do. I ask. So I'm an older gentleman, and I do love asking young players what they mean by range, and then just letting the explanation go for 10 minutes.
Yeah, to Zach's credit, he's giving Quinn the ironic advice to just always say I'm balancing my range,
X's
which
are
is
wild.
which
X's
is
are wild.
what you're hearing some of those younger players say.
Yeah, that's right up there with it's a mix
Yeah,
as
exactly.
Never
a
gotten dealt an X?
self-justification.
You haven't led.
Not this whole game.
Quinn with a real hand raising to $85.
He probably got that advice.
Raising
But
to
if you have a
$85. He's
real
just
hand-
under the gun. There's no straddle.
Oh, Zach with the Cowboys.
That worked.
Love it.
Uh-oh.
Love it. Called my bluff. Snap.
King would be disastrous. A straight would be funny as all
One
hell.
hand.
Oh,
Yeah, that's a pretty interesting flop here as Quinn flops the open under. Zach still with top pair. $200 trying to entice Quinn to a call, which I think he'll get. Quinn also has the backdoor flush draw.
yeah.
And
Oh.
that is very, very bad news for Quinn. Still drawing live, but that's not what he wants to see. Could all get all in here with the turn, to be honest with you, although Zach is probably going to play a little cagey and call. Let's find out.
The anaconda moves into the squirrel, chasing frantically.
Anaconda and the squirrel. Someone's telling like a Chinese fable. It sounds like.
Sound
Yeah.
overlay.
We'll all be quiet so the chat can hear the.
I wish I had a Australian accent.
Yeah, okay. Zach is going to raise.
Wow.
Quinn.
Snappy snap. We got a game.
All right.
Well,
Who's the anaconda?
We're about to find out.
Yeah.
You can make the story
We'll
whatever
find
you
out on the
want.
river.
And
Yeah.
oh, see, that's right where I'm going to say if it was a 9 instead of an 8, it's so close.
oh, so
All in?
okay, so sorry. So Zach bet the turn, Quinn raised, Zach called, and now Zach just straight out jams, and Quinn's thinking about it. I mean, he knows he doesn't have an incredible hand here. He's really thinking about it.
See, this is the part where I have to sit there and like figure out what hands are possible because I don't have the.
Is it all right to sit and think about it? Sure, Quinn. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah.
It's a big decision.
$600.
Zach with a topo
I
tell.
think I probably win this one.
Oh, and Quinn calls and. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
What a turn.
Uh,
Slow did it too, because I was like. I knew
No.
it was a jack.
Do you cover me?
Yeah.
Yeah, he has it covered.
Really?
Yep.
He has 1,500 in green right there.
Yeah.
Oh, and it's all going Zach's way. That's the second all in with
Bingo.
that Zach has won from Quinn.
that is the natural consequence.
This
This is what is supposed to.
Don't
The-
always have a killer hand there.
Fish has a good time playing and loses all their money, and now the universe is back in balance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trust me.
I had a very good hand until the turn.
No, you hit top pair on the turn.
No. He had a very good hand till the turn. I don't.
No, I mean
Let's do a fact check on that one. I don't know.
Yeah. Honestly, I don't think you could. When we get to I don't think you could fold the river there. You're getting like really good odds. You know, you're calling.
That is a good question. They're talking about whether he can fold the river.
Thanks, Chris.
I'm not sure.
You're getting really good odds.
Is he
You have to play
good?
basically like
How
40,
often
like
is
800,
how often is Zach
doing, like,
bluffing?
a
That's
pot
the
of,
question.
I know the odds were good.
Turning
Yeah,
a queen or a 10 into a bluff.
And I knew you had top.
It's interesting because we kind of block bluffs there with the
when I'm betting like
with-
that,
with our-
I either
with
have
our
top
draws?
pair beat or I have a bluff.
um,
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, and you're
not too heavily, but
felt like it made more sense.
Yeah, and the flop you flop.
make it
straight
harder
draw
for
on
Zach
the
to
turn
have
on-
straight
yeah,
draws
top
and
pair.
flush draws.
I got a bunch of.
like a queen jack.
I think the way that the game dynamic is going over
Jack
here.
10.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Quinn played that hand, pretty solidly. So I don't
Yeah.
think he made any egregious errors, but
Yeah.
20.
I mean, I think it's unconventional to raise the turn when if that's how it actually went down. That Zach bet the turn, Quinn raised. Although it looked like Quinn bet and Zach raised, so I'm not
That's,
You gotta get
that's
really
the way I saw
not
it.
exactly sure.
Really
Yeah,
only one king that can come out.
makes much more sense.
Quinn with a flush draw
I would have lost your.
and a gutter.
Sorry.
Alex with
I know, that's why you got so unlucky.
Top
because
two.
If the king doesn't come out and you don't hit your straight draw, you just fold, you know?
Oh, right.
But
It's a false sense of.
yeah,
Call, drawing mighty thin.
So when you get the straight draw like that on
I-
the inside,
I-
you have, what, a 16% chance
Wow.
of getting straight?
no, you had an open
Sparks?
ender because it was queen and 10.
Sparks trying to make something happen here.
On the flop, you have good odds. Like I would.
I think he
Ooh.
feels like he can read Quinn
I
now
think the only
pretty
thing
well.
to consider is just
Quinn
making
hits the
85 with,
straight.
Like
100.
Quinn
No,
hits the
and the
straight
flush.
and
with our dynamic.
yeah.
I don't think you can fold a hand with king jack once I raise a pre-flop. Then you flop an open ender, then you turn a pair. Like
Well, the worst part is I was really
Alex is gonna call and
yeah,
this is gonna get ugly for Alex here.
yeah. So once you do that,
all in.
Players all in.
All in.
All in.
Overbet shove. That's it.
Doing sound.
I think he.
Is he gonna get paid off by Alex again?
Oh man, Alex looks like he knows he. Oh man, he's in a world of pain. He's in a world of
oh, you
pain.
guys are better friends than keep
Then
doing all this.
yeah, there
shit
goes
to each other.
the Pantene Pro V move.
Oh man.
That was a weird.
Looks like Quinn showed his hand to Zach, so
It's a weird hand.
Alex might be looking for a secondary tell.
Yeah, I'm also not a fan of that
And
move.
how often does the Nike hat make it? I just think I see you every single time with it.
Quinn's on his
Your
phone.
sponsor?
On the phone. We'll see if he checks in on the
Yeah, Nike doesn't need more fucking
Big
airtime.
left hand. I really need that on the back.
on our chat.
Nick asking why Quinn bothers wearing a mask. I think Quinn would also ask why he bothers wearing a mask. I don't think Quinn's the biggest mask fan.
Doesn't look like it.
You just pay someone to cover the Nike one up. Seriously.
Alex is in pain here.
Oh, and he's
Boom.
gonna call. Oh,
Quinn learned not to slow
It's all
roll.
good, man.
oh
He's
man.
learned a valuable
Yeah.
lesson.
No, a red chip.
Oh, sorry.
That hand felt similar to the other one, right?
Yeah.
Wow. You know what?
yeah.
Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, and Quinn's
So
doing
anyone
both
who's watching,
successive hands.
Quinn, myself,
And being a
Nathan,
good sport
probably
about it
Dave
the whole
will be
time.
at the BTC Big Game June 2nd, Miami.
I'm gonna add on
Poker Unicorns.
Debauchery.
Chris and Alex are maybes
11,
currently.
12, 12, 15.
So
I mean, I would love to.
again, Zach talking about the game ahead of the
This place like
Miami
We got,
BTC conference.
we got Cuban food. We got music. We got a Miami style pool party. I'll let you fill in the blanks on that with your imagination. At the big game, you'll have myself.
Use your
Nathan
imagination.
Lotka,
Okay.
Jeremy Gardner, and
Professional fish Quinn.
and
I would be a
Professional Chris-
professional fish
Quinn.
Chat says we're all virgins. Be 6 virgins heading to Miami to party. Sounds worth watching.
Maybe it's big enough, won't be virgins for long.
I can only hope.
Nathan 3-bets with a 5-4. I think Nathan's feeling the end of session pressure.
And Quinn with
With
the
the actual
Cowboys 4 bets. I gotta say, for professional fish, the sizing can be pretty good. And it's not my words. I was repeating what I heard at the table, but his sizing can be pretty good.
I'm
And
into this.
he's showing aggression at the right times. He played that hand really nicely against Alex. He's got game.
Yep. He's gonna learn
Oh,
fast.
let's think. Am I going to fold for another 100 against Quinn? Really tough decision here.
Well, I'm back up. I got a stack now. So
You gotta
So now we have
Okay.
real hands here as we.
And Quinn doubled.
Wow, queens and jacks.
Oh, this
Yeah.
is gonna be.
This is a Quinn flop right here.
$500 in the pot here, and another 2K behind. Whew. Quinn throws 2 black chips in, and Zach I mean, how you fold is Zach.
Okay, I'm glad he's not.
Yep.
Good time is being had by all as we head to the turn. Is a pretty meaningless
Perfect blank.
deuce. Yep.
Quinn's gonna keep firing.
Small bet, Quinn.
I know, it is a small bet. I'm showing weakness.
Quinn says he's showing weakness with a small bet. $125, and Zach is going to call it as we head to the river here.
It is.
$1,000 in the pot.
Showing weakness
Is
by not
Zach
raising.
gonna be able to hold off
Only a little more than that behind.
firing?
I didn't get my flush. What do you think? You're still in?
I think this.
I think if you bet big enough, anything can happen.
Thinking lucky now?
Love the table talk here.
Right?
Yep.
125.
Zach probably just going to
Too
call.
small.
You'll probably force it.
No, Zach. Come on, Zach. Pull the trigger and get called off.
Raise.
Small raise.
300.
I got a jack.
Nice. I got a king.
I got a king.
Oh, beautiful. Beautiful verbal slow roll.
I've got a king.
I've got a
Good fold,
king.
good fold.
It is true. He does have a king.
Oh, easy call. Easy call.
king
dude.
kicker.
Easy fucking
I
call.
got a king.
I wasn't bluffing. I was going for
100%
value on my raise there.
Zach going for value with a river raise. Interesting.
Yep. That's
Got a king, yeah.
playing with a fish will
got another one
definitely
over
mess
here.
with your game.
My God.
To get you back.
Yeah.
I got to remember that one. I will pull that one out at the right moment. We're coming into the end of the session. We got about 10 minutes to go. It looks like.
Wouldn't have won it. And I guess if two pairs would have.
I expect to see a little bit of end of session antics.
Yeah, I saved a lot of money.
Raise.
That's fine.
35.
That was kind of covering my.
I'm like,
Not up to the level of the battle of the ace tens from last
Good.
time, but
That was a fascinating hand. If you want to watch that last hand there, we had it was $100 straddle, and that put everything out of whack.
yep.
oh, yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Appreciate it.
thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Zach, we have a question.
Yeah, just poker
Oh,
hands
from the audience.
podcast did an analysis of the
Do you
hand,
guys have any idea if Binance
and
will
I thought they did a good job of running down exactly.
So
Excuse me, exactly what was going on there.
personally would like not bet long term on either of those things. So I think that anything is really possible between now and yeah. Between now and then the eventual demise of both of those assets, I think anything's possible and BNB could flip. But I wouldn't have any conviction on like when or how. But yeah, it's.
I think it's very reasonable.
A little bit
Yeah.
of crypto.
I mean, Ethereum's a
Crypto
giant
advice
dumpster.
here.
Like, I definitely think from like
Ethereum's a what? Finish that
a
sentence?
giant dumpster
Just so I can get it
fire.
recorded.
That is financial advice.
That I am not a
Why is it
financial.
dumpster
I am not a
None of
financial
this is
advisor. It's not
financial advice.
Go to
Why is it dumpster?
unboundedcapital.com for full legal disclaimers.
Why is it a dumpster fire?
Because
Quinn with a 7
It
deuce says
doesn't-
he makes a
it's
very
not really
big
a scalable
raise.
thing. So
Very
pretty
big
much
open, I
anyone
should
that
say.
builds on
Wow.
Ethereum
What?
Today
Sparks calling?
is just really
What?
Right.
on some level like hoping that it doesn't reach a big enough.
I didn't miss a straddle, did I? I think
I don't
For
think
sure.
so.
So what Ethereum has?
No,
is a
I think
community
you missed a
and
Quinn.
Developers. What it doesn't have is technology
And,
to allow them
Sparks-
to build what they're trying to build to be successful.
flops the middle pair.
If you try to send a transaction on
Quinn
Ethereum,
keeps going
Checks
here.
his cards and
somewhere between,
bets.
like 25 and 40 bucks. And then if you're trying to do a smart contract,
Sparks calls
you're
with
looking
his
at,
pair.
You know, like many
It's funny because as the game
So if
gets
you wanna,
looser,
like, build
you know,
a business that
you're still trying to own 7 deuce. It gets even harder, and
not
now
really a
it's still
thing.
only $125 you're getting. It starts to become
choose to do that.
a dicier proposition.
And remind everyone why you're bullish on BSV, like the original thesis for people that have.
Let's listen in to Zach's BSV thesis
Why,
as
thank you,
this
Nathan.
hand
Yeah.
plays out.
I think the original vision of Bitcoin was wonderful, and I think a blockchain that has a cash system scaling, which is really just Bitcoin, is a wonderful idea. Don't want to bore the listeners, but you could
I don't get it. I just know that you have an alternative view than most people on blockchain. That's what I
Yeah.
You weren't gonna fold out on me on anything. I don't think.
I am all in,
Fold it if you went crazy enough.
all into the BSV ecosystem.
Okay, quantify that. How much of your personal net worth on a percentage
for, like,
basis
winning
do you have
$50
exposed to BSV right now?
In terms of investable net worth, like 100% basically.
So you have you don't own any real estate, no hedge in Bitcoin, nothing, no money
Just,
in your own fund.
just a little bit of cash to make sure I don't miss your rent payments, and a little cash to play
So you're
poker.
99% BSV.
So
Whatever.
here's what's going on here.
Between 90 and
Nathan
100, depending on
is Zach's
how I'm running
landlord,
in poker.
and he's also asking how much of his money he has in BSV. So I think Nathan's thinking maybe I should hedge my BSV exposure to make sure I get my rent. So I think that's what's going through the head there.
Yeah. Hedge his rent exposure.
That makes it. That's a whole other.
Yeah,
I
Sparks
mean, in
finally
general,
gets a
when
real
you're playing
hand.
U7, you just should always bet it. Like, doesn't really matter how much you get, or it's just like a good.
Just play it.
You just go for it.
More expert poker strategy advice.
My favorite thing is to do like a 7 deuce back raise.
Oh, the like limp.
Let's see. Nathan.
Or
All right, there we go. Nathan calling.
Yeah.
Might have preferred to see a 4-bet, to be honest, but
Yeah.
wouldn't have worked in this particular situation. 6-5 of hearts, not the easiest hand to play always.
And Ryan, you'll let us know when it's no
Does
longer
flop
streaming.
a
Cool.
pair. Spark's still ahead though with the 9s.
Why does he tap the table between?
Might be inclined to check it if I was Sparks, although you could go for value as well.
Why do you tap the table?
Yeah, I think
Relatively dry flop. No flush draws available. Not a ton of straight draws.
Lots of people are going to have gutters and
Yeah, it's true.
going to get a lot of calls from worse hands. Hands that are currently worse.
Now Dave's stuck in the middle with the overcards. Oof. I don't know. I don't know.
Ambitious call.
I don't know, Davey.
Why is the more betting?
Yeah. You might think, okay, well, if I hit my ace and king,
Usually,
okay,
also
got
a lot of
6-5
dealers
to
have like
fold.
their favorite players that they
You
like to
think,
like,
okay,
send
my
their
ace and
bet
king
book
outs
to,
are
and
live.
Tap will like help facilitate that.
And they are. They are.
That's why everyone gets mad at dealers, a lot, because they know that they're
Spark's gonna
kind of
keep it up.
influencing the action.
Might as well, I think.
Yeah.
And how much influence are dealers giving to the action?
If you were ahead, you're still ahead.
10%?
It's a good question. Question for Ryan. Yeah.
Try and influence.
Although you might not get 3 streets, you might just
Don't
choose
be
to
modest. Come on.
check here and go for the river, but I think it makes sense to go for a bet here as Sparks does. Wow. It's like a $500 bet. And that probably ends the situation. Wow, look at that wizard on the back of
You got
Alex's
a
jacket.
wizard
I
on
didn't see
the
that.
back there. What's that?
Zach noticing it as
Fancy.
well.
BTC wizard.
There we
See
go.
how he walked in front of the camera to do his product placement for his BTC wizard?
What's the thing on the front of your sweater? What
Something called StatMuse.
Tell us about it.
They are a data and analytics company, started in sports data and are now moving to finance. They're basically building like a Bloomberg/Yahoo Finance competitor.
Nice. And why do they put wizards with scam coins on the back of their apparel?
They're going to be including at least BTC metrics and numbers, et cetera, in the finance product.
So if you're trying to have alpha on this Ponzi before it comes crashing down, we should use StatMuse.
This is not investment based. So you can use
Quinn with the Quinn.
Yeah. Again, interesting to see that bet on the turn from Sparks, really fearless.
I'm not saying you can't make
Bet
money
with
on
nines.
these Ponzi like this.
3 bets
Just
to
not my
isolate.
style personally.
And again, nice to get Dave to fold the ace king there on the turn, even with 14%. Just you still had
Because it's like
6
so much
cards to
faster and
fade.
cheaper to use than BTC.
And Sparks 3-betting here to 200. Quinn's probably gonna. Well, I don't want to say what Quinn's gonna do. And he calls. And he calls.
It's he's
Does
playing
anyone
the
know if I was
Quinn.
trying to have someone help me operate a node or a federated node, and I needed to pay in Dogecoin? Who I could work with?
So let's see here.
Federation.
And Quinn's gonna lead. Sparks not with a lot of hand here.
Gutter and an overcard.
Gutter and an over.
Funny you should ask, Zach.
But
Again,
range considerations are quite different
Who's we?
in these kinds of
Well,
situations.
the Queen.
Queen and a jack.
Play on a queen.
This is
That's
Yeah.
not good for Quinn.
That's definitely the worst card in the deck. As Quinn bets, Sparks.
So what does Sparks do here?
Real decision. Now remember, he folded twice with Quinn when queens came because he thought Quinn had queen. So if he thinks Quinn has a queen, then calling is the right thing to do, and that's what he does, right? I think he's picking up on this queen thing.
And raise the river.
And I think he'll raise the river. Yeah. So Quinn.
Turning down an opportunity.
Let's see how he proceeds as he's.
250.
250. He declares.
So what's your raise size?
Oh, I think he just wants to stick it in, probably. I think you probably just want to stick it in.
Huh. So I would go smaller because I would think that Quinn would think that jam is too much to call.
I think if you have 3 pairs, we have a lot to learn.
No, with top pair and Quinn, yeah, I think you're right. You're right.
I don't know. I mean, the other thing is Quinn, Quinn could have a worse straight, first of all. Quinn could have, although a worse straight might even re-raise him. Oh, so Sparks does choose to go on the smaller side. Looks like 1,000. Oh, okay, almost an all-in. I thought there was 2 pinks. It was 3 pinks. 1.5K is Quinn.
How's the top entrepreneurs going?
Trying to decide what to do.
SEO is still cranking along.
Nice.
Search what's the top podcast and rank number 1.
If you search what?
Here's
Yeah,
where,
the reason I knew
if
it was
I'm
top
in Quinn's
podcast,
spot, when I bet
launched in
that
2015,
river,
the one search term for podcasts
I want
is
to
what's
be
the top
planning to
podcast?
bet
Well, shit,
full.
I'll just name my podcast the most searched term.
Yes,
So if
I
you search-
absolutely
if you search
agree.
what's the top podcast,
Doesn't
you're
seem like
supposed to
Quinn
It's top entrepreneur podcast.
decided what he was going to do
Top,
if Sparks
like, I
raised.
used to be more like the top podcast,
It's tough.
just
I mean,
the top
Sparks played the
podcast.
hand
I still
pretty
have
tricky,
it.
right? So he just called,
know?
and now he's racing. So
I
if
don't
you're
look
looking
at
at the
the
board as Quinn,
We
now
just have
8
so
makes some
much
other straights, I guess,
LBB SaaS folks
if you
now,
have
I don't
10-7.
care
But
Yeah.
And exposure outside of that.
There's lots of 2 pairs out there. There's a 1-lighter to a
There's 3
10.
podcasts at this table, right? Podcast.
I
Nice
have
fold.
multiple podcasts.
nice fold by
Show
Quinn.
one, Chris. Show one.
And
Shows the king.
Oh.
Chris shows the king.
That is the appropriate card to show.
Yeah,
Oh man, I want to see that on
of course.
Last hand for the stream,
We have
guys.
a,
Last
we have
hand.
a
Last hand of the
minute
stream.
left, maybe one more.
Double
More
hand, PLO bomb.
Chris, what'd you think I had?
Let's go.
I think you had 2 pair.
No, I had a queen.
Queen's a good
The
fold.
answer is he's got a queen. He's always got a queen.
Big surprise.
Queens.
That's all. That's the only
Yeah, so it's
card.
interesting to see.
Straddle, right triangle.
Quinn, what was
3
your
significant hands
get
between
Delta
them.
Queen pre-flop?
And
See
the
a
queen
flop and
has
hit a
loomed
queen.
large in Chris's head, affecting his play twice to his benefit, once to his detriment.
Like you get a queen, you play the hand, you see a flop, and like you get a pair of queens at some point.
Yeah, I felt like I really had to.
I'm gonna fold,
1500 was too
Nathan.
rich. If you'd done 500 or 600, I probably would.
Nah.
Zach choosing to
I
fold
knew you just had a queen.
7-6 diamonds and showing it. I'm not sure. Might be some inside joke there that I'm missing. I guess now when the 7 deuce game is on, it makes you less willing to play 7s
For the live stream.
because you're blocking bluffs.
We'll still play for a
pre-flop
little
bluffs.
bit.
Yeah, go 3 for 3 and 3 players.
Seven
Nice
deuce
flop
still alive.
for Alex here.
No, nobody else with anything. Which won't keep Quinn from calling.
Bet 50.
Kind of want to see a 4 roll off on the turn, don't you? The last 4 in the deck.
It would, yes.
Right.
So Quinn bet out. Sparks called, and Alex makes the raise. Quinn doesn't look thrilled with his hand here. He politely puts
That
it
was
just
it.
over the line.
Thanks for tuning in.
All
Poker
right.
Unicorns.
All right, thanks. As Zach said, thanks for joining us for Poker Unicorns. Hope you had some fun. A lot of interesting hands, I thought.
Playing a bit?
Yeah.
Um, I've been Alex Rosenberg with
dinner
Kent Beck, and we've had a lot of fun talking to you guys, and hopefully
It's like
we'll
350.
see you again soon, right, Kent?
Starting
Yeah,
like an
thank
hour or
you,
so.
Alex.
Cool.
Pleasure,
5:30
pleasure
or
talking
so on,
poker
or
with you, and we'll see you again June 2nd, it sounds like, for the BTC
I'm fucking
Cash Game
starting.
Classic.
Hands and 7 deuce.
Very good. All right, Godspeed, everyone.
Bye-bye.
I'm gonna I'm gonna dive in.
What's the link? Poker what?
Poker unicorn for the BTC game. Yeah. So I'll just text it.
Pokerunicorns.what?
.com/BTC big game.
God, that's long. Okay, hold on.
Apparently they like my king reveal.
That was epic, dude. I've learned so many phrases
Funny
just
thing is,
from
that was a mistake.
like, I have a king. Is that, I'm gonna start saying shit like that. Like, I have a king. I'm like, oh my god. I'm like, why did you just have a king?
He goes,
Oh.
it was the perfect response because he goes, I've got a queen. And I go, oh, I've got a
It was the perfect response. And then turned over one of them, said, I have a king. Epic. Epic.
Oh, was it you? Oh, shit.
Oof.
Now that we're not live streaming, you're going to notice my playstyle becomes so much more conservative.